in large commercial solar systems. So trust a tradesman, not a salesman. For a free quote, jaredarentselectrical.com. That's ARENTZ.
Free on-site battery fitting within Swan Hill and surrounds at Battery Tech. Call 50 32 22 22 and they'll come to you. That's 50 32 22 22 and they'll come to you for free during business hours.
3SH Central Murray Live for Holt's Mitsubishi Hyundai and Isuzu Ute, Harvey Norman Swan Hill and Walker's IGA Kerang.
3SH Central Murray Live coming to you this afternoon from Riverside Park in Kerang. It is the Blues taking on the Mallee-Eagles. A massive clash for both teams in the return to local footy. And Noel, really looking forward to this one. It's just, to be honest, great to have the footy back.
Yeah, it is absolutely fantastic to have the footy back. And interestingly enough, and I know that it's probably counterproductive to say it, but a couple of little outs, if you like, and they're not little, for Kerang, have just perhaps opened the door a smidge here for the Eagles. I thought Kerang had the advantage. Now I'm not so sure, having seen that there's a couple outs that Stewie's already got it gleaned out of the coaches. So comes back into the balance, which is really good for those that... It's a good crowd here too, by the way, as it should be.
Absolutely, it is. Stewie, thanks to Mawson's Concrete, Noel mentioned a couple of those outs, Troy Davis being one of them, and yeah, he's going to leave a big hole for the Blues this afternoon that they'll have to try to cover.
Certainly will, Shane. We know what a magnificent player Truck is for this Kerang side. He's played, I think, over 100 games now for the Kerang Blues and been runner-up in League Best and Fairest and won a couple of Best and Fairest here. He's a great player, and as Noel said before, he's a guy that actually really shapes this team, so they will miss him this afternoon.
Stewie, you're out in the middle of the ground at the moment. The reserves have been run and won, and comfortably won by Kerang. A bit of a ground report, I suppose, now that you're standing out in the middle near the umpires.
Yeah, well, obviously we've got the two cricket wickets here. They're quite wet, particularly at the batsman's end, if you like.
I thought they batted at both ends, Stewie.
You and I would appreciate that, Shane, but there are patches of wetness around the ground, and yeah, just in the centre here, that's fairly wet on the edges and along the wings too. So look, it will be an interesting battle. A lot of players will go into those wet areas, and it'll be interesting to see how they handle it.
Stewie, Kerang are on the ground, and I know Hazy's got a similar haircut to mine.
Yeah, very similar. Yes, and Curnow very similar there as well. Yes.
Thinking of throw Marty Kelly into that mix as well.
I'll just about throw Marty into that mix. Don't worry about that.
Thank you very much.
Of course, today it's the Cordinas Mechanical and 4x4 best on ground, and we'll be deciding that later on this afternoon. Goal of the day this afternoon, thanks to Advanced Turf, Joanna, Chris and the team, and of course the Swan Hill Hire mark of the day. And many thanks to Stewie and the team down there at Swan Hill Hire for their ongoing support. And before we get started, no, we might quickly go around the grounds thanks to McDonald's Swan Hill.
10-minute mark of the second quarter, I believe, at Metricon. And it is Port Adelaide 4-5-29, Gold Coast 1-1-7. So Port Adelaide doing all the scoring there, 4-5-29, Gold Coast 1-1-7. And are they a little bit shy here, the Eagles?
Well, there's certainly space there. It's Stewie down there, thanks to Mawson's Concrete, down there for the toss of the coin.
And let's have a see here. And it's been won by the Mallee-Eagles, and they will kick to the river end, I suppose you'd say.
Righto, so there you go. The Mallee-Eagles, they have won the toss. They'll be kicking to the left of your radio dial here at Riverside Park in Kerang, Noel.
Stewie, the breeze, just for our listeners worldwide, is going, what, effectively straight across?
Yeah,
or
straight across the ground, Noel. Yep.
So the toss, yeah, OK, they've won it, but probably no real advantage.
Look, I think there was a little bit of hesitation there from the young boy, Harry Allen. He didn't quite know which way to go, but he decided to go down to the river end.
And significantly, just about as the game is about to start, the smoke starts to billow from the heaters over at the can bar.
Yes, that's
as
right.
It does.
Yes, as it does. The boys have got the fire going. Good luck to them.
Ethan Pynchon, Noel.
Yeah.
Good to see him return. As Dean Helmers mentioned when Stewie was chatting to him in the pre-game, that's come back from Craigieburn, been playing firsts in the EDFL down there, and he will be a very welcome addition for the second half of their season.
Not only playing seniors down there, but playing good seniors footy down there, and he will be a very, very good player. Obviously, he's got to find his feet with some new players around him, but we know the skills that he's got, and he's a very, very good pickup. Well, midway, I suppose we say now, in 2021. And he's one of a number of players I'm going to be looking at today, just to see if they can take the step up against what I rate as really good quality opposition, pretty much right across the board, the Blues. Yeah,
and you can throw Darcy McGregor into that mix as well, Noel, who's had a pretty good few months, few games, Stewie. Of course, Bo Bennett returns, Harry Allen returns as well for the Eagles, but on paper they've got a side that's capable of mixing it with the Blues.
Oh, certainly have shown, particularly in that midfield with Harry Allen, Zach Sard, also Aidan Tazari. You know, they've got some quality players, but I do take your point about their goal-kicking prowess with both those other players out at the moment. So, they'll just have to run the footy and take their risks and have a shot at goal.
Stu, it'd be interesting to see what happens with Curnow and, of course, Tommy McGregor, because if the Blues see any hint of the ball just being thumped to the ground, look out for Coates, etc., to be moved to an attacking forward area, if you know what I mean.
Oh, and he's very good at that, isn't he, young Coatesy? And, front and centre, he's just made a real craft of that over the years, kicking a lot of goals in this competition and in other competitions in Northern Territory and also in the Bendigo Football League. So
Gillingham starting forward right beside the big fella too.
Sure is. Umpires for today's game: Dale Hall, Joel Page, Liam Edwards. Quick tip in a word, Noel.
Blues.
Shuey?
Blues.
Yeah, Kerang for me as well. First quarter brought to you by Blue Sky Outdoor Experts. Here's Noel Watson.
Rucks, have a look at him. Zach O'Mara to do the ruck work for the Eagles. I think he won it too. He's got it over the top, but the man of the moment, Jesse Clark, crashes in. The ball bounces back. The Eagles are going to get the first foray forward. The ball is going to be delivered down long. It's loose into the forward line. It's bouncing around. Who can get onto it? The defenders for Kerang do. Now there's a whistle on play. The umpire is very quick to get in.
Eagle free kick, I think.
Yeah, it's he's sitting back off it. Now he's going to come in. A little bit unsure as to which way to go, but he's coming in. Now the Eagles are going to have the shot on goal directly in front, and it's Omar Taylor.
Holding the ball, he said.
Quick. Very, very quick. Taylor, one step. Goal umpire gets a little bit of sun inside as he pooks up, and it says bang. First goal goes on the board to the Eagles. First goal. What are we, about a minute and a half in fact, not even that. And the big fella gets a goal, Omar Tabar. But interesting to see in the middle of the ground there, Stewie, the young ruckman, Zach O'Mara for the Eagles.
Yeah, he's got a lot of talent, this young Zach, so good effort by him. And I think also Zach Sard had a hand in that as well, getting it out.
See, in the middle of the Blues, doing a lot of talking in there. A lot of talking in underneath. Marty Kelly trying to set the tone. A little bit of push and shove as well.
Yeah, heavy side starting in there. He's standing alongside Harry Allen. That'll be almost worth the price of admission in itself, that little head-to-head battle. But the Eagles with the dream start. They are first on the board. McGregor, that was Darcy with the handball over the top, which was good to Shanahan. Another clearance to the Eagles. O'Mara streaming forward through the hands of Duck McDonald. Couldn't take the mark. Now the Blues come wide out towards Jesse Clark, who marks at half-back.
And Scotty Pay doing the ruck work for the Blues in the absence of the big fella Truck. The kick by Clark, banged down the throat of his teammate, dropped it. Now Clark butters up again, sells the dummy, clever. Wants the handball over the top. The linking up is beautiful here to heavy side. Back to Clark. Clark goes left, then right. Kick, a shocker. Absolute shocker. Straight down the throat of Clinton Cummins, centre wing.
Really, really good pressure there from the Mallee Eagles early on. Cummins kick, sets Darcy McGregor a little bit of a task, but he's equal to it. Quickly plays on, bombs long, looking for McDonald. Couldn't take the mark. Off hands there of Nitschke. McDonald got the little handball away, deep inside attack for the Eagles. Daglish, he went to ground. Umpires found a free kick in the back, and it will be going to the Blues, Jack Daglish.
Daglish goes short or dangerous. The handball quickly over the top by Coates. Coates sets his teammate a good real smother. Task. It was a great smother. Coming through there is Harry Allen. Allen goes wide. Look, the Eagles trying to use as much of the ground as they can. Keep it open, keep it flowing. But Jesse Clark comes in and cleans up for the Blues with a handball over the top, and it comes away off Hayes.
So now it comes out wide. Picking it up was Josh Nitschke. Went one way, then the next. Kicks out long down the line. Didn't look though. Coming out and take the mark was Foster. Little chip forward. In fact, that was Tassari. But his kick is intercepted. Clark, handball inboard. Looking for a teammate. Umpire says bring it back. And it's going to come all all the way back and go to Josh Nitsky.
I think the Blues would have liked to keep going. They had a one-on. Clark goes across, gets the footy again. He's racking up possessions early. In the defensive zone, yes, but at least he's got the footy. The ball comes over the top, and Ryan Gillingham comes into the game. He's kicked wide, not to the advantage of his teammate, though, as the ball comes out wide. A chance for the Eagles to build. Outer side, half-forward flank. They go bang into the forward line. McDonald, the target. Bit of a one-trick pony at the moment. McDonald, with the conditions out there, the ball goes to ground. Very close to, in fact, now over the line and out of bounds. It's going to be hard for the leading forwards out that side, Stewie.
Certainly will be, Moto. He probably should have taken that mark. He had good position. It was a good kick by Pynchon and really spotted him up, but unfortunately he wasn't able to take it. Good work, good defensive work by the Blues.
Glenn Stewart there, thanks to Mawson's concrete. Running onto the loose ball was Wes Bennett. He was quickly claimed. Eventually the ball spills over for a boundary thrown about 20 metres around from goal for the Eagles, doing all the attacking in this early stages of this first quarter. 4 minutes into the term, and the ball yet to cross the halfway point for the Blues.
Pay to do the ruck work. Up beside him is Sheehan Toby. Yeah, the coach will be delighted with the endeavour here from the Eagles. The kick from the ruck work out of bounds on the pull, and a chance for the Blues to reset. Pretty much they have to go to that outer side, the clubroom side, the heavy area on the ground. No, the boundary umpires come into play here. Everybody was setting for a kick. Now it's a boundary throw-in. The Eagles off the top. Clark going to dive in it by the tackle. Does that. Brings his opponent to ground. The central umpire, the youngster, gets in. Says, give it to me, boys. He's under plenty of pressure here, the young umpire, but doing a terrific job.
Certainly is. Ball now in the air. Pay with the tap. Kelly tried to burst his way through. Couldn't do so. Now ball on the deck again. Taleb over the top of it. What's the umpire going to call? No, eventually comes out the back. Comes to Sard. He throws it on the right boot to Zach Sard and puts it straight through the middle. So the Eagles, they get their second. They go to 2 straight 12. Kerang yet to score. That is on the Blue Sky Outdoor Expert scoreboard. And Shuey, there is an advanced turf goal of the day contender to start the game.
Certainly was, Shane. It was just a magnificent piece of work. Well, you're quite used to Sard being very, very dangerous around the goal, and he just threw it onto the left foot, and he knew where the goals were and snapped it right through. And they're doing all the attacking in the moment, the Eagles, looking very good coming out of the centre of the ground.
Just sneak a little look over your right shoulder, mate, and you'll see Dean Helmer's smiling like a Cheshire cat with the endeavour.
He seems really happy at this very early stage.
Umpire throws it up, but no, whistle. Free kick going the way of the Mallee Eagles. So one of the Blues boys was in too early. The Mallee Eagles right in the centre of the ground will go forward. Waste no time. And not using any width this occasion. They've gone straight down the centre of the ground. A big mark taken by Tony Sheehan.
So Sheehan now centering ball. Foster was there. He read it best. He's quickly claimed, and we're going to get a ball up about 30 metres out from goal. Once again, the Mallee Eagles into attack as they are doing all the attacking. As we said, 5 minutes in, Kerang yet to pass the halfway mark and go forward. And we're going to get another ball up here as the pack forms, and that ball is not coming out.
I think the umpires need to rotate through a little bit as well. There's a lot of heat in the kitchen down there, as well as what's coming out of the Canberra fires. The umpire says, hey boys, let's just have another secondary go at this. The Eagles 2 straight. Fantastic start by them. They need to keep the momentum up. The ruck work from Pay to Pay.
Oh, good tackle.
And it was a strong tackle. Comes out the back. Coming through a Sard. Lays it off the outside of the boot. I reckon he had a little look there, Sard, just to try and find a teammate. Coming through his Pay. Brad flicks the handball out to Jesse Clark, who links up, and the ball looks going through way of Hayden Hall.
Does Dalrymple to Pay, who left it behind but went back and got it. Goes one way, then got rid of his opponent.
Oh.
Handball solves Josh Nitsky into trouble. Eventually got the handball away, but didn't get it far enough. The Mallee Eagles win it back. Handball went back into traffic. Set a task there for his teammate in Bennett, and we're going to get a ball up centre half forward on the grandstand side of the ground.
Pretty lucky there, Shane. He took the player on. That's Wes Bennett. It should have been a free kick.
Pay with his left hand here, tosses the ball down. The umpire steps in. Free kick, which is going, holding the ball, so it's going the way of the Blues. Sam Heavyside wasn't sure. He snuck a little look over his shoulder and said, is it mine? Yes, it is. Heavyside now called to play on, goes straight down the centre wing area on the outer side. So there's a little shove out. Yeah, definitely for mine there. And again, the Blues get the advantage. They go into the half-forward line. There's a big lead on. And Bryce Curnow takes a contender for the Swan Hill Higher marker today.
He does. Hands it off to Hayes. Kick inside 50. Hunter was the target. Umpires found a free kick. The infringement against Hunter. And it will be going to Cummins for the Eagles. He goes short to Harry Allen right in the glue pot. Probably not where he really wanted to receive it. He goes long and wide out towards Darcy McGregor, who has plenty of space and time, just needs to find a target, and he does, and it's Ethan Pynchon.
Pynchon, we mentioned, coming back into the side, been playing good footy downtown, comes straight down the outer side here, close to the boundary line, in fact now over the line. His target was a player who's worked really hard thus far in Toby Sheehan, doing plenty of up and down the ground as well as a little bit of ruck work. The boundary umpire comes in now. Harry Allen comes across. Important little passage here for the Eagles. They grab this one. Can they get it on the boot? Just lay it on the boot and go forward. Keep the pressure on the Blues. The ruck work comes away with there. Harry Allen, as we called it, comes out the back again. The chance for the Eagles. A little gimme, a little hospital one to Pynchon. He's got it. Sells the dummy, gets around, kicks on the right boot to the open spaces in the forward line. The ball loose in front. Eagles players there in number. The ball over the back, called for by Sheehan. Grabbed it, didn't waste any time, and up and under into the full forward zone. And roaming it beautifully
football
off the pack. It looked like Jake Foster to me. And Jake Foster, as easy as you like, terrific crumbing there, Glenn Stewart. Compliments of Mawson's Concrete.
Oh, sensational work there, Noel. He just read it beautifully. McDonald made the contest. He probably didn't intend to mark. He was up against two Kerang players. Dropped the ball down, and Foster came in and beautiful roving and ran into the open goal.
Yeah, terrific stuff, and what a start. I don't think anybody anticipated this, Shane.
No, certainly didn't. And we said it in the pre-game, Noel, where were their goals going to come from? Well, so far they've got one from a free kick, they've got one from a quick snap out of the pack, and now a front and centre roving goal. So they haven't got the key marking targets down there, but they've got the small men that are getting dangerous, led by Omar Taleb at the moment and Jake Foster. But back in the middle, and the Blues, they need to respond here. They're down 18 points to nil early stages of this first term. Allen with the handball off to Wade, whose kick went forward, tried to find a teammate there in Foster. He was quickly claimed, and we will get a ball up. Of course, you are listening to 3SH Central Murray Live.
The Blues have thrown one back here. Bryce Kiner, whether he's gone back under his own volition here or not, but he's gone back. He's a loose man in defence, just trying to stem the flow at the moment. So he's just going to play a little bit loose, perhaps recognising that maybe the big marking forward is not the way that's required at the moment. And certainly just a little bit of initiative. We'll wait and see. Pay does the ruck work, gets it straight down to Ryan Gillingham, who goes an up and under. The Blues in the bag. Either a mark or a push in the back. And strong players getting up underneath was heavy side.
So heavy side off now to Josh Nitsky, who goes long inside 50. On the lead there was Coates, left it behind. Going in as well there was Runtsman. Did well, now gets it onto the right boot, round the corner. Hunter takes the mark down low. No, play on, said the umpire. Must have hit the ground. And we're going to get a ball up about 10 metres out from goal. The Kerang, first time they've gone deep into attack in the first 10 minutes of this game.
To do the ruck work, it's the same player, gets it over the top. Little palm down there by Hunter. The ball goes over the line and out of bounds, and the boundary umpire comes into it. And it is, for those that haven't caught up, the Eagles, 3 straight 10-minute mark of the first quarter. Kerang yet to score.
So ball back into play. Hunter takes it out of the ruck. Quickly claimed. Ball eventually comes out. McGregor was gotten in the back. Umpire said play on. Kelly feeds the handball out to Coates. Eventually the Blues try to work it out, but turn it over. Sard now. Runtsman with the tackle there, and we will have a ball up. It's about 25 metres out, directly in front of goal for the Blues.
The Blues desperate, and I mean desperate. There's a lot of fair hands and arms going everywhere up there. Oh, the ball comes out wide, held not within the footy was Radcliffe. Sam, now there's a mark taken for the Blues. They're going to go across the... Gee, that's typical at the moment, isn't it? Just an off-the-side scrubber coming in as coach. Can he bring some class? A bit of finesse. He does. He gets it to the open square. Mark taken by the Eagles, and they come across the ground, come out of trouble through Clinton Cummins.
So Cummins now takes the mark.
Played well, Cummins.
He certainly has. Goes back towards McDonald, who took that mark on the last line of defence. Eventually feeds it out to Lavey. That's a lovely kick from Dan Lavey, and spots up a teammate there in Omar Taleb at half back.
Taleb on the outer side, looks down the ground, straight down that outer side toward the grandstand area, the kick. Blues everywhere. Jesse Clark comes in. He's got 2 or 3 loose. He uses one through the middle. That's Romanano. He comes out wide now because he got it back. That's Clark. The kick of beauty to Kalabnitsky. Gives it back. The Blues are off and running. They get the ball down quickly into their forward line through Dalrymple. The mark dropped by the Eagles. The kick, you could see where it was headed, but the Eagles are in absolutely everything at the moment, and there's a chance for them again on the outer side. The umpire says, play on, and it's the Blues who picked it up off the ground. So
Hahn it is, goes long inside 50. They're just not looking at the moment, Glenn Stewart, going inside 50.
No, they've just got to lower their eyes, Shane.
They're just bombing it in. That's Glenn Stewart, thanks to Mawson's Concrete, down on the boundary this afternoon. Darcy McGregor Little chip over the top, finds Tommy McGregor. He goes short over the top as well to Toby Sheehan, and they've managed to work the way to centre wing.
Just drawing the play now because there's a loose man on, and the Eagles are going to take full advantage. The handball just a little bit too wide there for Foster, but he's quick enough to bend over, get the ball back in. Does it stay in? No, it does not. Goes over the line and out of bounds. Just missed the advantage. They had the loose player on. The handball missed probably by about, I don't know, in old language, 6 inches. It just hit the elbow rather than the hands, and it's gone over the line and out of bounds. And the Blues get a big sigh of relief. They've gone forward for all intents and purposes once, and they're still yet to score from the boundary thrown or player held when not in possession for sure. They're going to call advantage. They are. Well, how do you call advantage if it's an up and under screamer like that and the opposition have got numbers 3-1? You do, and you get on with it, and that's exactly what's happened. And McDonald gets the ball. Beautiful layout pass that comes across, and the Eagles go forward beautifully down the ground. The player not able to mark. Come as it was that kicked the ball. It comes back loose at centre half forward. The umpires letting them play on, letting them do their thing. Give it to the players. Let's see how they go. The ball comes over the back. Harry Allen, the dangerous Harry Allen, has laid it across the right boot. Minor score, first blemish. They don't mind, the Eagles. They're 3-1-19. The Blues yet to score, and we are 15 minutes into the first quarter.
So ball brought back into play. Now Kerang building off halfback, little handball over the top to Marty Kelly. Now gives it back, running through the middle of the ground was Heaviside. Kick wasn't a great one. In fact, the umpires found a free kick. It's going to go to Coates. I think there might have been a little bit of holding off the ball, and it'll be Troy Coates to take it. Probably too far out to score. Decides now, play on. He's going to handle off to Curnow, gives it back to Coates. They're mucking around a little bit, gives it to Heaviside. Goes one way, the next runs around 3. Heaviside off the right boot. This will be a goal and a half. And the Blues, they have their first of the afternoon, and that is an advanced turf goal of the day contender to Sam Heaviside. They now go to 1 straight 6. Kerang, they trail the Mallee-Eagles 3-1-19, and that is on the Blue Sky Outdoor Expert scoreboard.
Messy setup, Glenn Stewart.
Yeah, it was a little bit, but good work by Heaviside there, able to evade the player and got a bit of clear space. But yeah, they made pretty heavy work of it there, the Kerang Blues. But look, they're starting to work a little bit better through the midfield. They looked a little bit early. They were a little bit, not focused, I thought, but they are starting to work the football a little bit better now.
Quick around the grounds whilst we have the opportunity for Maccas. Port Adelaide at half-time, 7-5-47. Gold Coast 2-1-13. From the centre of the ground, it's the Eagles who got the first advantage, but again it comes back to the Blues. Jesse Clark ducked his head, tried to get the high one. Now Pay does get the high one. He commits his body every week, Pay. Just terrific to watch Bradley Pay. Normally a good finisher too. He's going to Yo with a drop punt. Now where's the lead? The lead is down the ground by Lane Harry. Harry has to set himself. Plenty of pressure. He does. Takes the mark.
So Harry now lowers the eyes. Nice kick, but just in front of Coates. Didn't quite get to him in the full. Handball off to Heaviside. Quick snap. Bouncing ball. Tommy McGregor was there. Intercepted it, but he's got Hunter for company. Umpires found a free kick. It's going to go to Kerang. And I might suggest that was just a touch lucky there for the Blues.
How much?
Smidgen.
More. More.
Yes.
Yeah. And more again. He's got it though.
Fair to say that was not really there. And anyway, Adam Hunter, he's going to be the man that's the recipient, lining up from 20 metres directly in front for the Blues' second of the afternoon. And he puts it through. So a little bit of fortune, but he takes full advantage. And Kerang, they go to 2 straight 12. The Mallee-Eagles 3-1-19. And that is on the Blue Sky Outdoor Expert scoreboard. 17 minutes gone, first term, Glenn Stewart.
Yeah, it was a little bit dubious, the free kick. I think, in that situation, let it go. But the umpire was in a better position than us. And so he was able to go back, the Kerang player, and boot the ball through for their third goal.
And Stewie, when you think about the early lead for the Eagles...
Second goal, sorry.
They just got a lot of run going, and then all of a sudden, the Blues... This is how dangerous the Blues are. Shane mentioned it. They haven't gone forward, they go forward, and all of a sudden, in a twinkling, they're 2 straight.
Yep.
And that's how dangerous they can be. So just have to be very, very mindful of that if you're an Eagles supporter. They're going beautifully here at the moment, though, the Eagles. Their contest is terrific. The ruckman go at it. Well, one does anyway. Big McDonald, it's an ace. He's gone thump. He's bumped the ball down to about half-forward line. The Blues, though, have been able to settle in underneath it. Coming through quickly. It looks like Marty Kelly wanted the ball a little bit more, but he was dispossessed, was he? The umpire sweating. Yep. Says no, gone. Free kick going the way of the Eagles. Marty Kelly gets up and I can't lip read, but I can tell you, I think I know what he's saying. The Eagles, though, have got the footy on the outer side and they look to bang it into half forward.
So now just assessing his options there is Brent Sheehan. Goes short and wide out towards the Eagles interchange bench. Finds a teammate there in Bo Bennett. So again, Kerang, they've just got numbers behind the ball now. They've been able to set up. Goes short and wide, looking to bring it across into the middle of the ground as Tassari finds Toby Sheehan. So he's marked at centre half forward. Now, this is the next kick. Needs to find a target. Decides instead to go back from where it came out towards Bo Bennett. Bo
Bennett with the footy on the outer side. This just allows the Blues to set up and push the Eagles even wider. In fact, they've done that. They're very close to that outer side boundary line. Now, left foot going to be brought in. No, going to go with the right foot banana. It's an up and under. Gives nobody much hope so far as the forwards are concerned. Oh, big pay. The ruckman left it. The ball went straight to ground off the palms of his hand. Didn't really try to grab it. Now the Eagles held, not in possession. Play on is the call. Getting in underneath is Harry Allen, as you would expect. And also they're right beside him. Here's Brandon Hayes, but the ball has been called for a ball up by the central umpire. It goes in the air, and the big boys go out to play. So a little tap down there from Pay, trying to burst through as Brad Pay. Free kick too high, and it'll be Brad Pay to receive. So deep in defence, and now they've called advantage. So they're I'm not sure how that came about, but anyway, play on. Bryce Curnow, long kick up towards centre wing. All the Mallee Eagles, but it's Troy Coates who read it best. He kicks inside 50, looking for heavy side, got plenty of space. Now just has to get around Levy. Does that. Now off the right boot, a high up and under kick, and going back with courage and taking a good strong mark for the Mallee Eagles is Luke Doolan.
Been impressed with this guy, guys. Hayden Tassari, he's sensational for...
Yeah, he's prepared to run, prepared to bring a teammate in too. The ball on the side here comes across. Lovely little piece of bodywork by Bo Bennett, back into the side, and Bennett delivers it down to another player coming beautifully up the ground in Jake Foster. Kicked the goal early, but he's kicked a little bit wide. The Eagles have got the bounce here. The ball just sat up, and Harry Allen swooped, lays it across with the right boot, kicks it into the forward line. Bit of scramble down there, but the Blues should recover through Josh Nitsky and his teammate Romagnano.
So Romagnano now gives it off to Curnow, playing in defence at the moment. He goes short and wide out towards Thomas Dunham. So Dunham's marked, half back for the Blues. Short, little one over the top there to Pay. Goes back to Romagnano, doesn't quite sit for him, but had time. Now gives a little handball off to Gillingham, who goes long towards half forward. 2-on-1 down there. The ball thumped to the front of the pack. In underneath hard is Sammy Radcliffe for the Blues. They need a ball up here, I suggest, the Blues. They'll be happy to hold it there while they can reset. The umpire does exactly that. Gets it in their favour, and a ball up between centre and centre half forward. Just quickly around the grounds for McDonald's. Port Adelaide 7-5-47. Gold Coast 2-1-13. And here it is the Mallee Eagles 3-1-19 to Kerang 2 straight 12. You're listening to 3SH Central Murray Live as the umpires found a free kick going to the Mallee Eagles.
Great tackle.
As it's going to be going to Luke Doolan. That half back now called to play on. Looks to go wide out towards Wade. Has to sit and wait. Eventually gets to him before Runciman does. And Wade goes short over the top to Toby Sheehan.
Toby Sheehan with the footy. He just dropped it, but quick enough to get back on. He's kicking up and under. Puts his teammate down the ground under all sorts of pressure. Coming in quickly there, of course, is Marty Kelly. The quick hands over the top. And I mean quick. Hayden Hall was the recipient. He's under plenty of pressure. The ball out the back. A chance for the Blues. Can they get numbers on it? They can. Coming in as Coates. Didn't realise he was going to be the recipient, but he was. The kick laid across here. The ball's going to bounce beautifully for the defenders in the Mallee Eagles. And they set up through the centre of the ground again.
They do. Brent Sheehan now gets it out. It's Darcy McGregor. He goes wide on the lead and taking the mark right in front of the eyes is Duck McDonald. And he will go back and line up about 30 metres out on a bit of an angle but for a man of his talent, a very gettable shot at goal.
Yeah, absolutely, and good structure and comment from Glenn Stewart there. I don't know whether our listeners caught it on the way through. They need a score just to get the momentum back, Stewie.
Yeah, they certainly do, mate. Kerang, for the last 10 minutes, have dominated this game, but really around the pack situation, and probably should have kicked another couple of goals, but good work there by the Mallee-Eagles, and great work by McDonald.
So McDonald, he's going to be a very important player this afternoon for the Eagles, and his team needs one here. They lead by 7 points. Starts at left, but draws it right and through the middle. That's a lovely kick from McDonald. And they go to 4-1-25, the Mallee-Eagles. They lead Kerang 2 straight 12. And that is 23 minutes gone in the first term, thanks to Blue Sky Outdoor Experts.
He put a lot of time and effort into that because he knew, like everybody else here at the ground, the breeze is going to be as he was kicking left to right. Clearly, everybody would have heard Shane Stay. He started at left and Glenn Stewart, exactly that. But he knew as soon as he kicked it, the fist went up. He knew it was going to carry.
He certainly did. He's kicked a lot of goals over the journey as Macca and Duck McDonald, and a good goal by him there, and just steadying the Mallee-Eagles at the moment, which they really needed.
That was Mum on the car horn, by the way, cheering him on. From the ruck work, it comes out the back, and Coates gives it over to Jesse Clark. What a combination they've been. The little 1-2. Is it going to come back? No, it's an up and under here from Rob McNarno. Down the centre of the ground, a strong mark taken by Heavyside. Play on as the call. Get out of the road. Up, I'm coming. The handball over the top, puts his teammate under all sorts. The kick down long. It's a kick and hope. The ball going to carry the pack. Who's going to be there? Is it going to be a blue or is it going to be an eagle? It's a soccer off the ground. The Eagles thrown to the ground, but the handball comes out the back. Now the Eagles with a 1-2. Harry Allen's got it. He normally uses the ball well. This occasion, straight down the throat of his opposition in Marty Kelly.
So Kelly now, little handball off to Curnow, who gives it off to Heavyside. They combine a long kick inside 50. Sitting at the back was Hayes. Couldn't take the mark. Now Wes Bennett picks up the crumbs. Little handball over the top. The Mallee-Eagles, they'll look to clear now. They go wide out towards Bo Bennett at half-back.
At quarter time, their defensive coaches, I don't know who they are if they've got them for the Eagles, but they would be well proud. This has been a really good effort. And up forward, they've taken every inch of toll that they possibly can. Yeah, the Blues have got a couple on the board, but they've really had to struggle for them. Out of side. Boundary umpire waits. Just a little pensive moment here. They know that's getting close to quarter time. The ruckwork from the Blues comes over the back. The umpire shades his eyes, the central umpire that is, from the sun, and the ball is close to, in fact, now over the line and out of bounds. On that scoreboard, the Blue Sky Outdoor Experts scoreboard is the Eagles 4-1-25, Kerang 2 straight 12.
So ball still over in front of the Kerang interchange bench at the moment. And the Eagles, this has been a very impressive start from them in this first term. Question's going to be, can they keep it up for the full 4 quarters? As the umpire crosses himself, we're going to get a ball up in almost exactly the same position as where the ball was thrown in. Glenn Stewart, thanks to Mawson's Concrete.
Yes, throwing it up there at the moment, and it's come down, and the Mallee-Eagles, Sir Omar, has kicked the ball up onto the half-forward line.
They go to the ball very, very close to the outer side boundary line. The big fella gets in there, Curnow. He's working at both ends of the ground. He understands the importance of getting away a bit for the Blues if they possibly can. Now, the kick has come out wide, a little bit in and under, but the ball's going to carry over the back. Quick hands comes out from the Blues, but Hayden Hall just not able to get it to a teammate. And as we heard the siren in the background, at quarter time, it is the Mallee-Eagles 4-1-25, leading the Kerang side 2 straight. It's a 13-point lead at quarter time on the Blue Sky Outdoor Experts scoreboard.
And that has been all the first quarter action. Don't go anywhere, though. We've still got plenty more to come in the second term right after this on 3SH Central Murray Live.
3SH Central Murray Live for Holt's Mitsubishi Hyundai and Isuzu Ute, Harvey Norman Swan Hill, and Walker's IGA Kerang.
13-point margin at the first break. It's the Mallee-Eagles 4-1-25 to Kerang 2 straight 12. And we're going to go straight down to the boundary thanks to Mawson's Concrete, to Glenn Stewart.
Thanks, Shane. Dean Helmers here, coach of Mallee-Eagles. Mate, great first quarter, fantastic around the footy.
Yeah, they were. The pressure was enormous, to be honest. I've said to the boys, like, if you drop the tempo, they'll just run all over you. I said, look, let's just break it down to contest by contest, quarter by quarter, and just see how long we can hang in there. But at the moment, we seem to be controlling the ball, and we're not wasting the footy, and we've got a direct purpose to go longer today, and it seems to be catching them off guard.
I thought Aidan Tazari at centre back was sensational as well. Your backline, all of your backline played very well.
Oh, I think so, and I think it's a really good sign when the the number one full forward in the competition is playing behind the ball, that we're doing a lot right at the moment. But look, we'll see. There's a long, long way to go in this one.
Okay, thanks very much, Dean. Back to you, Shane.
Thanks, Stewie. Thanks to Dean Helmers there, and we are just about set for the second term. Might quickly go around the grounds, Noel, and thanks to Macca's Swan Hill.
Just our local leagues, just quickly, quarter time, Balreynolds 7-3-45, Kahuna Kangas 6-2-38, quarter time Swan Hill 3-5, Tulibuck Menang 2 straight, Moolameen 5-4, McCorner 5-2. So a couple of points lead there. Wandella 3 straight, Murrabara 2 goals 1, and Ultima 3-3 lead. Quambatook 5 behinds. We'll do the North Central shortly.
And the second term brought to you by G&M Poly Irrigation. Free kick out of the middle of the ground going to Bo Bennett. He goes wide out towards Brent Sheehan. He kicks long up towards half forward, and a good strong mark there. A Swan Hill Higher mark of the day contender going the way of the Mallee Eagles, Wes Bennett.
Wesy kicks the ball deep, as you heard the coach just say to Glenn Stewart and all of our listeners. A little bit of a ploy here, go long, go hard, and that's exactly what happened. The kick, though, has been taken. A free kick, in fact, going the way of the Blues, and Jesse Clark comes across and finds a very good player today thus far in Sam Heavyside.
So Heavyside, and he's in some heavy going there, Noel, right in the middle of the glue pot as he comes wide looking for Dalrymple. Has to sit and wait and takes a good strong mark as Dalrymple there, another contender for the Swan Hill Higher mark of the day. Handball inside to Heavyside, goes over the top there to Clark. Another handball to Coates, another handball over the top. They're linking up by hand at the moment, but they're working themselves into trouble of the Blues. Eventually comes back to Coates, lowers the eyes, and a lovely pass finds Bryce Curnow on the lead, about 45 metres out from home, almost directly in front.
And you know what, sorry Stewie, but our listeners won't know this. His lead started from inside the goal square, and he's what, 50 out?
Yep.
Big lead.
And it was a sensational lead, and he backed his player in Coates that would take the wind of possession, and he was already 5 metres in front of his opponent. And
that is a lovely kick to start the second term here from Bryce Curnow, straight through the middle, and they go to 3 straight 18. The Mallee Eagles 4-1-25. That's on the G&M Poly Irrigation scoreboard.
Thanks to Macca's. Just quickly in the North Central, the quarter time scores we have through: Birchip Watcham 4-1-25, Charlton 2-1-13. At quarter time, it's all even. St Arnaud Saints and Donald 1-3 apiece, and Sea Lake Nandali Tigers 5-3-33 lead Witchy Proof Narraport 1 straight goal. This is 3 State Central Murray live. It's great footy, Shane.
Sure is, and we're almost getting ready to go back in the middle, Noel.
Yep, Ruckman going out at big pay in underneath, gets the footy over the top. The Eagles, though, win it, and win it clearly through the ruck work of Zach O'Mara. The ball comes loose. The Eagles, they're prepared to wait. They're prepared to set up. He's gone too far, called for it, and the umpire says, give it over to the Blue Boys, and they want to get the ball quickly and go forward if they can. And Troy Coates, the clever Troy Coates, who delivered that ball to Bryce Curnow to set up that last goal, has the ball at half-back.
Starting to get very busy is the former coach, and now have we got a 50-metre penalty?
Yeah, the bloke's shadow about 45 metres to his right, Toby Sheehan's, infringed.
Well, it's unfortunate when your shadow does that, but
what can you say?
Very, very tiggy Touchwood, and a massive penalty for something like that. And Coates now almost within scoring distance. Goes towards Curnow, but unfortunately goes over his head. And the mark taken in defence by Tommy McGregor. He comes wide, looking for a teammate there in Allen. Goes down the line, through the hands there of Shanahan. Dalrymple, little handball, tried to find Dalglish, but did well there, did Shanahan. Gave it off there to O'Mara. His handball over the top went to nobody in particular except for Josh Nitsky.
Nitsky gives a hand backward to Sammy Radcliffe, an up and under kick, but look at the Eagles. They are everywhere. A big flock of Eagles, if you'll pardon the pun. The ball comes out the back and picked off by Jake Foster, who kicked the first goal. Oh, the mark! Down the ground. What a mark of the day contender. The Swan Hill mark of the day contender will come back to it because the Eagles have unloaded into the forward line.
They have, but only as far as Caleb Nitschke takes the mark in defence. He's been pretty good this afternoon so far too, Nitschke. Goes over the top to Coates, who's starting to bring his own footy. Another little handball over the top to Clark. He goes over the top to Pace. So again, the big names for Kerang starting to get busy. Goes long down the line for Hayes, but he just runs out of room over in front of the Social Club And we will have a boundary throw-in with the Kerang trailing the Mallee-Eagles by 7 points.
The last time the Blues went forward on that 50 metres, I quickly swung down, had a look at Bryce Curnow. Yeah, he had 2 on him. Neither of the umpires saw it. Curnow was grabbed and thrown out of the contest before he was able to start his lead. Something to keep an eye on, and for those that are at the ground, the ball has been thrown in. The umpire's pinged it. It's going the way of the Blues, and getting out the back of the pack is Marty Kelly. As we know, he's always an in and under, and he's kicking up and under, and it just sets it up beautifully for the Eagles defence. But they're under plenty of pressure. The ball close to the outside boundary line here. The Eagles through Sard to Allen. Allen back, gives it over to the running player in Jacob Wade.
So Wade now goes long, looking for McDonald on the lead. Just couldn't quite get the hands on it, and it has gone out of bounds on the full, in fact. And we will have a free kick to Kerang, and we'll go down to the boundary thanks to Mawson's Concrete.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky there, Duck McDonald. It just ricocheted off his...
Oh, it's just quickly compliments of Macca's at quarter time. United 4 straight lead late, Boga 4 behind. So a 20-point lead at quarter time to the United boys. But don't forget, Balranald were up over Kuna Kangas.
So much for that upset brewing at Naya from the start of the game. As he goes into the middle of the ground, Darcy McGregor takes the mark. He comes short and wide, looking for a teammate, and finds him there in Toby Sheehan. He now goes inside 50 through the hands there of Shanahan. Eventually comes now to Radcliffe. Little handball back was dangerous there for Caleb Nitschke, and eventually the ball's worked over the boundary line and over for a throw-in by Taylor.
That was a handball to nowhere other than into trouble, and it really suited the Eagles because now they're able to set up. They've got players behind, they've got players in front. Let's see which way they go. Pinchin's lurking at the front. Right beside him is Sammy Radcliffe, who we know is a very close checker. Pinchin, exactly there, in front, comes out the back. Call over the top, and it comes away of Radcliffe. His kick is smothered. The handball comes to Hayden Hall. Hayden Hall unloads through the centre, and the Blues try to go. Oh, they're gone. Big, strong tackle.
Good tackle.
I don't know if we got a tackle of the day, but that would have to equate to it, I would think, from Darcy McGregor.
So now inside 50 again for the Eagles. And taking the mark now is Foster, and he will go back and line up from about 45 metres out directly in front of goal.
Are they unsettled? Are the Blues unsettled here?
Yeah, a little bit, I reckon, Noel, and that was great work there by Bo Alexander. Beautiful pass, and was able to spot up the young fella there is about to have a shot at goal.
So Jake Foster, try and kick just before the cricket wicket. He does, on its way. It's coming back. Does it quite have the legs? It doesn't, does it? Waiting on the decision from the umpire. He says it's a goal. He took his time to get there. He didn't really let us know what was going on, but we got there in the end. And it is a goal there to Jake Foster. They go to 5-1-31. Back out now to a 13-point margin. Kerang 3 straight 18. That is on the G&M Poly Irrigation scoreboard.
It was an interesting one, wasn't it, guys? There wasn't a lot of excitement from the Mallee-Eagle players, I thought, and obviously it was a line ball, but the umpire has adjudicated that it's gone through.
I think the Blues were looking for that camera angle, you know, the one on the line, because I'm more than confident they felt they touched it. Have a look at the scoreboard. It says 5-1-31 the Eagles. The Blues 3 straight, and that's on the G&M Poly Irrigation scoreboard. So into the third quarter now. Port Adelaide 8 goals 654. Gold Coast 2-1-13 thanks to Macca's. The ball from the centre of the ground has gone wide. Again, it's the Eagles prepared to put their bodies in front. Terrific play. Gets the ball out wide. Allen. Allen lays it across the boot, and luck's a fortune. It's a scrubby kick, but the Eagles are going to go forward once again.
So long kick inside 50 again. Just can't quite get his hands on it there. McDonald, free kick should be coming back here to Kerang. And it will be. And it'll be Dalrymple to receive it. Last line of defence for the Blues.
High, I believe. Kick up and under. Comes out wide. I do mean up and under because it just gives nobody a chance except one player. And they're getting in under everything here at the moment. And Darcy McGregor, who's playing really well on the centre wing, has got the footy. McGregor goes across, and Shane, I'm going to have to leave it to you because it's over my shoulder and I cannot see through this wall.
It makes it quite difficult to do it, the placement of that corner there, Noel, but it is a behind off hands through for 1 behind to the Mallee Eagles. They go to 5-2-32 to Kerang, 3 straight 18 as the kick in now comes to Brad Pay, and who marks at centre half back.
Back into my peripheral vision here, and Brad Pay has the footy.
Happy to help you out, Noel, as long as you do the same at the other end for me, that's all.
Kicks the ball. The Blues are doing this a lot. They're just kicking and hoping. It's an up and under, and the Eagles are taking full toll when they've got good ball users. Harry Allen's one of them. And again, the kick this time by Darcy McGregor. Go long is the call. Go long is the call. And why would you not when you've got a big fella down there called Andrew McDonald, who comes out and takes a big mark. This one has to be gettable from about 30 metres out. And that's what was called at quarter time, Shane, wasn't it? Go long.
Yeah, exactly. And they're doing that to great level of success at the moment, the Mallee Eagles. And this guy, as we said at the start of the game, he's very important for him. He's starting to get his hands on the ball now.
Absolutely is.
And Darcy McGregor, he's been playing beautiful football, hasn't he? And when we spoke pre-match to Dean Helmers, he rated the boy, he'd moved him onto the wing and has done very, very well so far.
McDonald goes across, kicks his second, and importantly, the Eagles 6, they get away here. The Eagles 6-2-38, Kerang 3 straight goals and just lacking any movement of the footy. It's all kick and hope from the Blues at the moment, Glenn Stewart.
Yes, it is, Noel. And one guy that really is standing out for me in the moment is in the centre is Zach Sard, a real contender for the Kadomas mechanical and 4x4. He's just been sensational. He took on 4 Blues players out here on the grandstand wing, and he beat them. And he was able to get the ball forward to Wesy Bennett, and they were off then the Eagles and being able to score that goal. So great play from Zach Sard at the moment in the centre of the ground, and a real contender for the Kadomas mechanical and 4x4.
The other quarter time score coming through at Swan Hill. Swan Hill 3-5-23. Tulibuck Menang 2 straight compliments of Maccas in Swan Hill.
So back in the middle now, and it is the Mallee Eagles. They lead by 20 points. Kick out from Heaviside, wins the clearance. Long kick inside 50. Runciman couldn't quite win it. Now picked up by Tassari. Runs his full measure. Eventually gets legged. Probably a little bit fortunate. It was definitely there, but he
very lucky.
If the tackle had been a proper one, he would have been caught holding the ball. So it comes back now to Tassari at half-back for the Mallee Eagles.
Tassari with the trusty left goes down the ground. Players diving out wide for it. Getting in there quickly of the Eagles. O'Mara shrugs the shoulders and the player off him and kicks the ball down into his attacking zone. And that is a very attacking zone at the moment. Lovely vision there. The ball comes over the top. Harry Allen on the end of the second handball. Allen delivers it down into the full forward line. Full forward, full back, both at it. Now the umpire, from back toward the centre of the ground, is confusing everybody. What is the call? It's a free kick to the Eagles.
Holding on, I think it would have been to McDonald.
Well,
I reckon the goal square.
6 of one, half dozen the other. But McDonald, if you don't mind, Andrew won't mind, he's going to line up for his 3rd goal. And he just ambles in, keeps the head low, which is important, and brings up the Eagles' 7th goal. 7-2-44, leading Kerang 3 goals straight on the G&M Poly Irrigation scoreboard. And Glenn Stewart, that is a big call from an umpire, got to be 70 to 80 metres away.
Yeah, it certainly was. They were both wrestling for the ball there, but I did feel that there was a free kick there that McDonald made front position.
Yep.
But I've got to talk about another Zach here, and that's Zach O'Mara. He was brilliant here a few moments ago, the big ruckman for the Mallee Eagles. Took on 3 or 4 players and followed up and then was able to win in a contested situation and got the ball out, and the Eagles are on fire at the moment.
He's quick, isn't he?
He is for his size. He really is, and he's very...
This is 3SH Central Murray Live, and Stewie is just struggling a little bit there, but I tell you what, it's all good footy.
Certainly is, mate. Yeah, just having a few issues here, but it's great football at the moment.
Certainly is. Back in the middle of the ground. And Kerang, they need to kick the next one. And I didn't think I'd be saying that at the start of the game, Noel, because it is all one-way traffic at the moment. The Mallee Eagles, they are winning everything. They're winning the clearances, they're winning the contested ball, and at the moment they're putting it on the scoreboard. Second bounce in the middle, comes out Kelly, just hacks the ball forward, sitting underneath it. Runciman has to sit and wait. Did well, actually. Got the ball to ground. Now flying over the top of him was Brent Shand, holding the ball, said the umpire. He sat on top of it. And it'll be a free kick to Michael Runciman for the Blues.
Runciman goes to the right-hand side, the outer side, and the quick lead on here by Coates. Coates dangerous as always when he's got the footy, especially when he's up forward. Now the lead is on by Runciman if he wants. Decides no, waiting, The umpire's going to call him shortly. He has to go long. He's got to unload here shortly. He goes across. That is a terrible kick. And in fact, it's gone barely 10 metres. The Eagles have got in front, grabbed it, and gone bang to the outer side, right over near Glenn Stewart. And Stewie, tell us what happened.
It's gone out of bounds on the full, mate, and it's going to be a free kick to Kerang. The umpire coming in and just changing the mark there, moving the Melbourne player back on the mark. And it's going to be a kick in there by Nitsky, and been able to find Brad Pay on the wing here on the grandstand side.
Well, Brad Pay can't kick 100 metres he'd like to, because Dunham's wide on this outer side, but he's not able to. His kick has gone down the line. The runner for the Eagles is signalling it's out of bounds on the full, and I think the umpire's going to agree with him. Yes, and now he's going to get everybody to go back over the line. Get on with the game, son. We don't need the umpires doing too much here. Just call the game. Let's get going. We've got the ball out the back here for the Eagles. Just trying to use a little bit of space. They're going to go the spread. Can they do so? Oh, he's run a long way now. The kick, dangerous, ever dangerous. The ball's bouncing in the centre of the ground here. The Blues are going to be able to swoop. Players from both sides converge and slip and slide in that heavy spot. And the ball has gone to ground as a big player for the Blues. And Adam Hunter says, stay where you are. I'll do the ruck work. Let's hold it in here.
So Kerang now looking for that next goal, Hunter. And he might have infringed here in the ruck. He has.
Yep.
And it's going to go to the Mallee Eagles. And taking it now will be Batten. That's Patrick Batten. Goes long out towards centre wing. Underneath it, Shanahan. Really good effort there from Josh Hahn. Just worked his way to the front position. Now eventually gives it off to Brad Pay, who goes long inside 50.
Kicks it out wide, looking for the elusive player in underneath. And it would have to be one player only. That's Coates. His kick, again, not what we would expect of his high level. The finisher, it's gone over the line, has it? On the outer side now, close to, in fact, the player ridden to the ground, waiting. Everybody's sitting back waiting. We've gone over the line and out of bounds, and the free kick is going the way of the Mallee Eagles, and a player on the outer side there for them is Bo Bennett, back into the side this week. A good player, an important player.
And playing well too, Noel.
Certainly is. And goes long down the line. Now Talev, read it best, got a little handball away, but only as far as Josh Nitsky, who just got the kick away. Now long kick up towards half forward for the Mallee Eagles, but sitting in front and taking a good mark there is Josh Nitsky.
Well, I'm going to write that down as a contender, because he was under all sorts of pressure there. The kick, a shocker. In fact, again, it's an up and under. And the Eagles
they've got one over the back.
Sit off, but you go for it, Shane. I can't see him from here.
Sorry, no, it was McDonald, and they got another one in the goal square. It's Sard, but McDonald ignores that. Probably could have gone to him, Glenn Stewart.
Yeah, he certainly could have, Shane. It's a very intense game. It's a fairly pretty solid in the clinches, I've got to say, but she's quality football at the moment, boys.
It is, and he's ended up going short. In fact, found Jack Shanahan, so hasn't improved the angle at all, but probably another 10 metre closer to goal is Shanahan, and he will line up from 30 metres out. But really good. They had numbers all out the back then, Noel, the Mallee Eagles.
Yep, that's the way it should be.
It is, and Shanahan now looking to put through the 8th goal of the afternoon. It's just faded late as he snuck it in.
He's got it.
Has. So Shanahan gets his first. The Eagles get their 8. They go to 8-2-50. They lead Kerang 3 straight 18, and that is on the G&M Poly Irrigation scoreboard.
I've got to say, Shane and Noel, the intensity the Mallee Eagles at the moment are showing around the pack situation is just enormous. They're throwing their bodies in left, right and centre. It's really unsettling the Kerang Blues at the moment. It'll be interesting to see whether they're able to get back into the contest.
The Cardenas Mechanical and 4x4 is our best on today, and I tell you what, we should have Brad and the boys here to try and sort it out, because it's just a poultice of good players out there, the Cardenas Mechanical and 4x4. Now there's a whistle again. Which way is it going? It's going the way of who? Now the central umpire is confused because the boundary umpire is confused. He's got to go back, and it's going the way of the ruckman for the Mallee Eagles. Now the other umpire has decided to come in, and he's going to have some input. Oh, boys,
how about they just throw it up, Noel?
Can we just get on with the game? We've got too much confusion going on. It's about the players, and pardon me for saying it, but it's just got to happen. Let's get the game underway. It's a brilliant game of footy. Compliments of Maccas. I'll do the around the grounds while the umpires try and sort it all out. Port Adelaide 9-6-60, Gold Coast 2-2-14. That's into the third quarter, 12-minute mark. And don't forget at quarter time the leaders in Central Murray were Balranald, United and Swan Hill.
So Tommy McGregor, Kerang.
What was the wash-up?
Kerang, well, they ended up balling it up, Noel, funnily enough, which is what they should have done in the first place.
Correct.
And Kerang with the clearance, but McGregor taking the mark at half back, but his kick has gone out towards the social club and out of bounds for a boundary throw-in.
I'll make a comment later. No, seriously, I will. In fact, I'll make it now. Let an umpire make a decision and stick with it. Let's not just try and bamboozle everybody with too many putting their pennies worth in. You're trying to blood umpires like you're trying to blood players. Let them umpire, let them make a mistake. If they do, bad luck. The umpires, get on with it. The players the ball has gone and up and under. It comes down the ground. Who's in underneath? Plenty of players for both sides. The ball a little paddle over the back, trying to be a bit cute here, Kerang. Now comes out the way of Marty Kelly. Kelly gives the hands over, and Bryce Curnow has the footy, and he drills it to the centre of the ground. And the Blues can build, and build beautifully if they can get a kick on the end of Sam Heavysides. They do, and in under it. Yep, Mr. Troy Coates surely will have a shot, Shane.
He should, and in fact, he's going to hand it off to make a fool of us, Noel.
And the shot on goal from Brad Pay. Brad Pay has missed it. Pulled it across. Kerang 3-1-19. The Eagles 8-2-50 as we get deep into the second quarter. Compliments of G&M Poly Irrigation.
So Kerang, they really need that goal, and one more before half time, because at the moment the margin sits at 31 points and we're about to enter time on here in this second term. Glenn Stewart, thanks to Mawson's Concrete.
Yeah, it's interesting with Coates. I think he's had that groin issue, and he's reluctant to kick, and he should have kicked an open goal there before and missed, and then that one there, he was too far out and decided to give it off to Pay.
So a little handball over the top. They're looking for Lane Harry. It goes on hands and knees. Handball came out for Heavyside, but missed the target. Now the Eagles through. That was Mustafa. Little kick forward. Umpires found a free kick.
It's going the Eagles.
Inside attacking 50 for the Eagles. It'll be Andrew McDonald again, who is, I tell you what, a Cordina's Mechanical 4x4 player of the day, contender at the moment. In fact, for mine, he's the clubhouse leader. He goes wide, which was unlucky because Harry Allen was sitting waiting for it, but the ball will have to come back to McDonald. He'll have to go back over his mark.
Players wrestling again, and it was adjudged that McDonald was being held, thrown to the ground, and he's got the footy about 65 out.
Yeah, probably a little too far out to score. He's going to go back and line them up. So by the time he kicks, he'll be kicking from about 52. On its way, it's offline. It's through 4-1 behind. So 8-3-51, the Mallee Eagles. They lead Kerang 3-1-19. We've entered time on here in this second term thanks to G&M Poly Irrigation. And this is 3SH Central Murray Live.
Compliments of Mac as a half-time score coming through. Birchip Watcham 7-1, leading Charlton 3-3. As I said, thanks to Maccas in Swan Hill. The kick down the ground. You can hear the crowd getting involved. It's gone over the line and out of bounds.
Good pressure from the Mallee Eagles.
Excellent pressure, and the ball has come the way of them as the recipients. The kick in will go down the ground. Bang. Long thumping drop punt. That's got plenty of carry on it. Down the ground, the players carried over the line and out of bounds, approaching half-time. And this is a magnificent quarter by the Eagles. Certainly one. I'll put my hand up. I did not expect this. I certainly expected the contest, but not the margin.
No, I don't think anyone did, Noel. And certainly driving to the ground this morning, you sort of thought it would be Kerang. It'd be a good game, as you said, but at the moment, it is the Mallee Eagles. They are absolutely running the rule on this one. It's going to be a free kick. Marty Kelly holding the ball from that clearance. Centering ball to Josh Nitsky. He comes wide out towards Caleb Nitsky. We wanted to give the handball off to Curnow, who again has gone deep into defence just to plug some holes. Little one over the top, heavy side to Nitsky. This is better from the Blues, running from half-back like they're used to. High kick wasn't a good one, though. Sitting under there was Tassari, and eventually it comes out the back to Pat Batten, who gives it to Tassari. Tassari
loose on the centre wing, and the ball is just not going to settle, but it does now. It's coming in beautifully. He's tailored with the footy. Sees a teammate at a better advantage, gives it across. Oh, drop what he should have had there, Bo Bennett. The ball has gone to ground. Now, which way is the umpire seeing it?
Too high.
Yeah, it's going the way of the Blues. And there is, I tell you what, they want a goal. They want it very, very quickly. The pressure must be enormous out there because there's some skilled players for Kerang who just cannot hit targets today, and they're doing this. They're under pressure. They're banging the ball in. Another big high kick by Niski. Joshua just gone down the ground, and a big mark taken for the Mallee-Eagles in defence.
You just don't see this, do you? No, you don't see them bombing the ball in and wasting it like this going inside 50, Kerang. And the Mallee-Eagles, they had 3-on-1 at that contest inside defence, and they were always going to win. It was just a poor option in the end there from Nitschke. So the Eagles now over on the far side of the ground, and this is what they're doing. They're just maintaining possession at the moment in the back half until they get to the centre, and then they run and go.
Dean Helmers is animated at the moment, as he should be. Get the ball down the centre of the ground. The big fist over the top comes away from Curnow. Curnow's got players loose. Certainly Gillingham is one of them. Yeah, Gillingham. Dare I say normally hits a target. Oh, no. Still, he's kicked it into the man on the mark, Ryan Gillingham. That's the day the Blues are having. The ball comes out the back and a chance for them to unload through Dunham. But under pressure, the Blues in every respect.
So Curnow, lovely long wide handball out to Marty Kelly. Can they build something here, the Blues? Getting to the front position there for Kerang was Hayes, but couldn't quite take the mark. Now Wade, little handball off to Brent Sheehan was good. Down the line, and a lovely, lovely mark there. Swan Hill High, a mark of the day contender for the Mallee-Eagles, and that is O'Mara.
Big Zach, and we'll call him Big because he's playing a great footy. I mentioned earlier on, he's pretty quick for a big fella too. His kick toward half forward. The Eagles have a chance to advance. The ball's loose at the back. It comes away. The Blues are able to steady through Lane Harry. Harry goes short, looks for and finds Curnow. Curnow's got the ball in under. The Blues want half-time, and they want it badly because they're just staggering at the moment. And the ball goes back in toward the central umpire. And the scoreline at the moment, the Eagles 51, Kerang just 19 on the G&M Poly Irrigation scoreboard, and we are at the 25-minute mark of the second quarter.
Well, I don't have the record book with me, Noel, but you'd probably have to flick through it for a few years to find the last time Kerang at home trailed a team by 32 points at the main break. But it is the Mallee-Eagles at the moment. They are doing all the attacking. Coming out now to pick it up was Romanano, but he's quickly claimed by 3 Eagles players, and that is the story of the day so far.
They were onto him. He was hot.
Shane, you said 32 points. It's easy to say. Mate, it's 5 goals more. 5 goals. It's a lot of goals under the conditions. It comes out the back. The Blues through the glue pot have the footy in front. Can they find a teammate down the ground? Well, you would suggest no, because the numbers just favour the Eagles. They're everywhere. Comes back inboard through Jacob Wade, who put it there to be won by someone who's prepared to bend their back. It was a Blue who was. Now the ball has come out the back. A free kick going the way of the Blues. And Sammy Heaverside should look wide if he's quick enough, because he's got a player loose, and that's Gillingham. Does he want him? No. Again, this dinky little handball puts Jesse Clark under all sorts of pressure. Now it's out the back. Third handball, still under pressure. They can use Gillingham if they want. The Blues decide not to. They go down the ground, and numbers favour the Eagles. It's a 2-on-1. Can the player there for the Blues in Hayes, Brandon, get the footy out the back? He's sitting on it. He's sitting on it. The umpire's going to ping him. Holding the ball. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 against 1. And the 4 win out, James.
They're doing at the moment. That is exactly what is happening. I'll tell you what, Kerang, they were desperate for that siren to come, because they were on the standing 8 count there for mine, and it is the Mallee-Eagles, if you can believe it, at half-time, 8-3-51, leading Kerang 3-1-19 by 32 points. That quarter brought to you by G&M Poly Irrigation. And we have got a very special guest coming up at half-time. At the moment, we might take a break here.
That's the Guardian half-time, isn't it?
It will be the Guardian half-time, Stewie. We'll get there eventually on 3SH Central Murray Live.
For Holtz Mitsubishi, Hyundai and Isuzu Ute, Harvey Norman Swan Hill, and Walker's IGA Kerang. 3SH Central Murray Live.
Quarter by quarter scores online now in the Central Murray, Golden Rivers and North Central Football Leagues. 3sh.com.au for the GMG Accounting Footy Zone.
This week in music with Gavin Miller.
Anne Wilson turned 70 this week, so Hart are our feature artists, defining moments in music, like the release of Carole King's Tapestry album 50 years ago this week.
When I was first starting to write, it was either very strictly pop or it was this upstart rock and roll.
Birthdays, anniversaries, music news, and special guest, Spandau Ballet songsmith Gary Kemp.
Next thing I know, my mum's calling out, "You two down for dinner?" You know, I mean, there was no respect for the songwriter.
Sunday morning from 10 on 3SH.
So you want a furphy? back in 82. Burrows were down by 6. Right on the siren, the mark of the match. 60 metres out, but he booted that ball so hard it split like an old shoe. The leather went through for 6, but the bladder sailed through for an extra point. And that's how I kicked a 7-pointer to win the match. There's your furphy. Unbelievable.
Whatever car you choose to drive, it's your right to choose your own independent mechanic. Your local Repco authorised service centre is a trusted professional who is fully qualified to service your car and stamp your logbook. They have the latest equipment and technical know-how. They use quality parts and lubricants, and all work is backed by a nationwide warranty. For real peace of mind, trust the experience and knowledge of your local Repco authorised service centre. Drop in or book online at repcoservice.com.
Being with big telco companies, you can get lost in all the noise. That's why Southern Phone has listened to what Aussies want. SIM-only plans from just $10 a month. Powered by the Optus 3G and 4G mobile network, enjoy generous data inclusions, unlimited standard national talk and text, and no lock-in contracts. Now that's a bargain. Visit southernphone.com.au or call the Aussie-based team on 13 14 64 to make the switch today. Minimum 1 month cost is $10. Offers end 30 June 2021. For full terms and conditions, see southernphone.com.au.
Who forgot to take their shoes off again? The dogs tracked that muddy bone through the house. And help, who spilled that? Forget putting off carpet cleaning in the colder weather. Steam and Clean Tiles and Carpets Kerang can work their magic any time of the year with limited downtime. For a refresh of your carpets, tiles, furniture and even mattresses, call Dale at Steam and Clean Tiles and Carpets Kerang 0400 521 962. Bort, Barham, Kahuna, Kerang and surrounds. Kill travel. Steam and Clean Tiles and Carpets Kerang.
At Harvey Norman, save $600 on the Sony 65-inch X90J Android Smart TV. Now $2,495 plus bonus delivery and installation. Turn up the volume with the 5.1-channel JBL soundbar. Now $795, save $200. Plus, buy on 60 months interest-free and receive a bonus gift card up to the value of a big $1,000. Minimum finance $1,000, 60 equal monthly payments. Interest applies if you do not comply with terms and conditions. Fees and exclusions apply. Now at Harvey Norman.
Battery Tech has a huge range of deep cycle, commercial, car and motorbike batteries, fully charged, ready to go. Just drive through and pick up or give them a call on 50 32 22 22. Battery Tech, keeping you switched on.
Australia, meet your new McCafe blend. Smoother, richer and expertly roasted in Melbourne for Aussies who love great coffee. You know, like you. The new McCafe blend. Now that's coffee fit for an Aussie. Available at participating restaurants.
3SH Central Murray Live for Holtz Mitsubishi Hyundai and Isuzu Ute, Harvey Norman Swan Hill and Walker's IGA Kerang.
32 points the margin at the main break. It is, believe it or not, the Mallee+Eagles who lead Kerang 8-3-51 to 3-1-19. Just quickly, the goal kickers in that first half. Andrew McDonald was the star with 3, Jake Foster with 2, and singles to Zach Saad, Jack Shanahan and Omar Taleb, while for Kerang, all singles to Sam Heaviside, Adam Hunter and Bryce Kerner. And this is the Guardian halftime show at the moment, as Stewie alluded to in the pre-game. And of course, if you haven't listened or heard enough from me and Stewie, our rubbish this afternoon, you can pick up Tuesday's edition of The Guardian and read about it as well.
If you can get a hold of one. Apparently they sell out very quickly now. Apparently they sell out very quickly. Congratulations, boys, by the way. Great, no, really good insight. Yeah. Really appreciate it. Great stuff.
No, thank you, Noel. But I think we've got more insight than what we can provide at the moment, because as I said before the break, we've got a special guest in here, and we have the Warreneen coach in Marcus Di Maria. And Dimmer, thanks for joining us, mates, up in the box, and a really interesting first half of footy here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, boys. Yeah, very interesting. Mallee+Eagles looks like they've done their homework very well, and leading at half time. So, but should be interesting second half to see whether they can go on with it.
Marcus, the long kick pressure that Dean Helmer spoke about at quarter time to Stewie, and let all of our listeners, and great insight, let all of our listeners know that they planned today to kick long, put the pressure on. If they have to force another contest, do it. It's worked beautifully.
It has, and it looks like you can see there. Looks like they're. I'm not sure whether it's the directive from the coaching staff, but it looks like they are playing the boundary, playing fairly wide to try and stay away from Kerang's obviously pressing up.
Yep.
But then once they get the ball to half forward, they're swinging it in there deep.
Yep.
To McDonald, and he's got some really good positioning there as
So
well.
one-on.
It's one-on-one.
One-on-one. That's the pressure, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good pressure. And from a coaching perspective, how do you see the game now unfolding? Because Kerang are going to be in there. They can't afford to sit back and wait for another 5 minutes or so. They have to go bang.
Well, as you've seen early on in the game with Mallee-Eagles, they were able to win those centre clearances, and I reckon that's where they've gained that momentum. They've got on top early.
Yep.
So it's going to be Kerang.
Pressure on, and they've really developed it. And then what it's done is the Blues have just had to bang away. We've spoken about it 2 or 3 times already. Bang away into the forward line. Curnow's gone into the back line, and Glenn Stewart compliments of Maccas. If you don't kick goals, guess what?
Oh, that's right. You've got the leading goal kicker, 32 goals he's kicked so far. We spoke about it prior to the match with his coach, dominating season at full forward, and he's played 80-90% of the game down on the back line. So, they're really going to have to think about, you've got to kick goals to win games. So I'd expect him to go to full forward this quarter.
But not only that, it was the manner that with Kerang were entering their forward 50, they were kicking it in and bombing it in as though he was down there. And all the Mallee-Eagles, it was just easy pickings for them.
It certainly was. I think he has gone to full forward now. I think I've got the wrong end of the ground here, boys.
2 or 3 on 1, and obviously Curnow had gone into the back half as a spare, so it goes forward. And guess what? There's a spare, and away they go again. And the Eagles were quick to utilise the out. They were able to get it through, and as we've said 2 or 3 times, to go with the long kick down the ground. Hey, compliments of Maccas in Swan Hill just before we get underway. That other half-time score we were waiting for is Swan Hill 5 goals 10, lead Tullibuk Menang 3 goals straight. So there's all the half-time scores are through. Interesting second half of footy coming up, certainly from a Kerang perspective here, Shane.
Certainly will be. Battery Tech, all batteries for everything scoreboard here in the third term. Here's Noel Watson.
Big pay, gets the ball out wide, pushes it across, looking for a teammate, not able to find him. Ball's in underneath. It's there to be won. Sean Hunter enabled for the Blues, but didn't come his way. It's gone the way of the Mallee-Eagles. And even the run of the green here, the ball is carried and coming across through is Sard. Sard from centre wing takes a long shot at goal.
Good goal.
That's the goal.
That's an advanced turf goal of the day.
Is it ever? That's the Mallee-Eagles, and we would have played about 20 seconds. And as I said, the run of the green there, the ball sat up. The Eagles were able to swoop. Sard got past, created the space, and then you can see again that Breeze just set it left, started to carry right, and Zach Sard brings up his second and the Eagles' 9th. 1, 2, 3, 5 or 6 separate goal kickers for the Eagles. Who'd have thought that at the start of the game? Shane.
Yeah, great start for the Eagles, but that would just absolutely rip the wind out of your sails, Stewie, from Kerang. They would have been all pumped up to come out, make sure they get the first couple, and then straight away it's just been ripped away from them.
Certainly was, and look, they won the tap in the ruck, and they thought they were going to get the ball out of the centre, but the Eagles are just too good.
Well, once again, they win the tap, and it's going to be the Eagles again with the clearance. They come out wide to McGregor, who was just sitting out here on this near wing. Eventually, the kick wasn't a great one, but Wes Bennett's there, gives the handball off now to Harry Allen, who goes inside 50 on the long lead, can't quite take the mark over the head of Toby Sheehan. They're picked up by Nitschke, he's in trouble, got the handball away. No, holding the ball, said the umpire, and Toby Sheehan will go back and line up from 30 metres out on about a 45-degree angle.
Shane, from that ruck work, the Eagles were sitting on the wing, and Ryan Gillingham was lined up on the wing, went darting into the centre, left his opponent standing wide, the ball came over the top.
Yep, and it's almost as though that's just a pre-organised idea, just to sit out on the wing, and we'll get it out to you. Toby Sheehan, though, looking for the Eagles' 10th goal of the day. It's gone across the face. It hasn't even got there. Eventually, it's come off the boot there. I think that might have been of Taleb.
I think it hit the post,
and it's hit the post. So another behind. They go to 9-4-58. Kerang 3-1-19 on the Battery Tech, all batteries for everything scoreboard.
The Blues come from defence, trying to get into attack. The kick and up and under. Diving attempt at a mark. It hasn't carried quite enough. And the umpire swooping says, boys, hand it over. And he will do that. I would suggest there are 998 people here today, and they are seeing an Eagles side really put it to the Blues. The Blues from the ruck work, get the footy, it goes an up and under toward half-forward player. Was he held? No, it comes out the back. A chance for them to run onto it. In under there was Pay. The ball goes to ground. Now the ball will be called for a ball up. Brad Pay, frustrated, just couldn't get the ball to sit up for him. He knew he was running in toward an open goal, not able to get it.
It's just not going their way, even the bounce of the ball at the moment, Kerang. They're going to get this clearance, so eventually comes out to that man in Pay, who has the shot on goal, and that might kickstart things for the Blues. Pay puts through his first of the afternoon. Kerang get their fourth. They go to 4-1-25. They trail the Mallee Eagles 9-4-58, and that is on the Battery Tech All Batteries for Everything scoreboard, Glenn Stewart.
It certainly was. It was a brilliant goal and a contender for the Advanced Turf goal of the day. Beautiful work by Brad Pay. He was able to get a hold of the possession of the football for probably about 50-55 metres out and let fly, and it's gone straight through the middle of the goals.
That's what the Blues can do, and we've seen it over the last probably 10 years. Just haven't seen enough of it today from their perspective, but they are winning the ball from the ruck work. They just now have to concentrate on that clearance. So the clearance from centre into the forward line is their next hurdle. Ruck work goes the way of the Eagles. Bang, straight down to Harry Allen. Gives a handball over the top. The Blues have it in front. The kick is an up and under. It's a high free kick going the way of the Blues. Is it going to be advantage? No, it's not. The Blues will have to come all the way back now. The Eagles screaming down into defence. Look at the numbers for the Eagles getting back. The Blues looking to get the ball quickly. Gillingham giving direction, saying open it up, keep it open. Now we wait. This next kick is the crucial one. Play on is the call. It goes to this side of the ground, toward the half-forward line. Oh, you don't leave Coates on his own. Coates pulls the kick across the body, getting back, twisting, turning. Lovely work down there as Sean Hunter's got the footy with the ball on the outer side. The mark has been taken. Coates had a couple of options. He's gone across the body, pulled the kick, and the Blues 2 in about a minute. And this is vital shot on goal, Glenn Stewart.
Certainly is, Noel, and just directly behind the player here.
Call it for us, mate.
And he comes now. He's about 30 metres out on a 30-degree angle. Ooh, just tapers away, but comes back. And yes, it's gone through the goals for a goal.
5 goals, 31 Kerang. The Eagles got the first, but the Blues have kicked back hard. In effect, they're 1 goal better off than they were at half-time. It's 31, plays 58. 9 goals for the Eagles. Kerang 5 goals, 31, and that is on the Battery Tech All Batteries for Everything scoreboard. Compliments of Mawson's Concrete, Glenn Stewart. I could see you struggling over there, young man. Got a bit of sun in the eyes, or is it the breeze?
I think it might be the breeze, Noel. But good work there by young Sean Hunter. And he's coming to the side today because of a couple of injuries, and he's drilled that goal through beautifully there. And 2 goals in a row, a little bit of momentum, the Kerang Blues at the moment.
Really poor setup there from the Mallee Eagles, though, to allow Coates that much space, especially when they had plenty of time to set up. Umpires found a free kick. They're bringing it back. And it is going to go to the Mallee Eagles.
Yep, Harry
Allen in the middle of the ground. So now the Eagles with the chance to go forward. Looking for options. Hasn't got a lot to go to, so decides to just go long inside attacking 50. Clark will come over in front of McDonald, but he can't quite get there in time. McDonald on the lead. That was a lovely kick from Harry Allen. And McDonald takes the mark. Probably too far out the score, you would suggest. So he's going to be kicking from outside 50. So looking for options. He's going to line up and go long. Will McDonald. He's got 3 already this afternoon. Going for number 4. Starts at left. Starts a little bit too left, but taking the mark. It didn't quite make the distance. And it's Omar Taleb who's taken the mark deep in attack. And he will go back and, line up from a very, very acute angle.
Eagles player down there, I think, has got a bit of cramp, guys. You might pick that
Toby Sheehan, mate.
Yep.
Yeah, so Sheehan it is, yeah, and that is a Swan High mark of the day contender there from Taleb too. He was 5 deep in that pack and just read it the best. So it's a little steadier for the Eagles now. They've kicked the last 2 of the Blues. So Taleb now runs around on the angle and puts it straight through. Lovely goal there from Taleb, Advanced Turf goal of the day contender. And they now go to 10-4-64. The Mallee Eagles leading Kerang 5-1-31 on the Battery Tech All Batteries for Everything scoreboard.
Deep in the forward pocket, Glenn Stewart. It's always a great place to take a mark. Oh, gee.
As Shane said, he was in the middle of a pack of 5 and was able to take a strong mark there and go back and kick a beautiful cross-the-body goal, which we're now becoming fairly accustomed to.
5 goal kickers for the Eagles. I'm sure Dean Helmers will be delighted with that. And when you have a look at the Kerang side, yeah, they got 5, but they're only 1 goal each of the 5. From the ruck work, bang, go the Eagles, trying to clear the centre area, not able to. Comes out the back. The handball chain is on. Oh, gone. Big tackle. Oh, and a shove in the back just to make sure he's going to reverse it. Yeah, well, it's a bit Tiggy Touchwood, I know. You see it a lot. Bloke gets a free kick. He gets up, vents his frustration and gives the bloke a decent shove. The umpire's reversed it. Telling, will it be the Blues get the ball and it goes away of Adam Hunter.
So long kick inside 50. Mark taken there now. Little handball off to Curnow, who's got the journey, but kick was smothered. Lovely smother that was from Tassari. He's been really good this afternoon in defence for the Eagles. And he's a Cadina's Mechanical and 4x4 Player of the Day contender. And we'll get a ball up about 45 metres out from goal for Kerang.
Ruckman go at it. Just waiting to see what Hunter was going to do. You can see him at the back. He ended up doing the ruck work himself. Now the ball is kicked toward the outer side centre wing. Marty Kelly, leg speed. Look at the man run. He's got the ball in front. He's had to kick under the hammer though, and the ball has barely travelled 10 or 15 metres. A little throw. Now the ball's going the way of the Blues on the outer side. Big tackle. Big couple of minutes here, and the ball is going to come back deep for the Blues. Players with the called to play on, ducks, weaves, gets around, then unloads deep. Shane, it's over to you from there.
Long kick, Hayes with the big fly. Did he bring it down? He did. Oh, that is a ripping mark, a Swan Hill Higher mark of the day contender. And it's, in fact, it's not Hayes. That is, in fact, Sean Hunter. A lovely mark. And he will go back and line up from about 35 metres out, almost directly in front of goal. So Hunter now, he has, well, yet to kick one this afternoon. Comes in on its way, and I think he snuck it home. He has. So Hunter gets Kerang 6. They go to 6-1-37. The Mallee Eagles 10-4-64. They're closing the gap now, the Blues, on the battery tech, all batteries for everything scoreboard.
Well, we have Omar Taylor, but one intake, an absolute ripper, and then you go straight down the other end, and Sean Hunter brings up his second goal of the day with a terrific mark, and that is certainly a contender for the Swan Hill Higher mark of the day. Big effort, big goal, and some telling goals being kicked here at the moment. Just quickly, whilst we have the opportunity, around the grounds for Maccas in Swan Hill. It's 13-minute mark of the final quarter. Port Adelaide 11-8-74, leading the Gold Coast who are 4-5-29. Big centre clearance coming up here for either of these two sides.
So ball now, just thumped forward there by O'Mara. Eventually only as far as Hahn, though, whose kick was smothered. O'Mara off the deck, just a little kick inside 50. Bouncing ball, Kelly trying to get to it first. Does. Feeds a little handball backwards to Caleb Nitschke, who goes long and high towards Sean Hunter, who just worked his opponent under the ball. The man who kicked that last goal now goes to Runciman. They're building here. Now there's a couple of options. Runciman decides to play on. Looking and chipping. Good pass. Finds Coates, who runs into the open goal, and Kerang, they are starting their run now. They go to 7-1-43. The Mallee Eagles 10-4-64 on the Battery Tech scoreboard. 10 minutes gone. This is 3SH Central Murray Live.
Glenn Stewart, compliments of Mawson's Concrete. Uh-oh, look out.
Uh-oh, Chongo. They're really playing really good football at the moment, the Kerang Blues. They're lowering their eyes, hitting their targets and making sure of their possessions. A little bit unlucky there, the Mallee Eagles. I thought they could have got the free kick as a push out, but they rebounded very, very well, the Kerang Blues, and been able to kick 4 goals so far this quarter.
Great observation. The Blues have lowered their eyes. A very, very telling comment and a rather apt one. Exactly what's going on. They've lowered their eyes. They've got Curnow deep. They've got the target, and from the ruck work, they're starting to get a little bit of ascendancy out of the centre of the ground. Can they do it again? The umpire circling, he says, Bozo, we'll go again. Take 2, another go, whatever you want to call it. Brad Pay gets up underneath the pack. Ruckman, go at it. Pay, held by one hand, grabs the footy, grabbed by his opponents. I think for everybody out there and everybody in the crowd, just sitting on the edge of their seat. They know the next goal is absolutely crucial.
They sure do. And the Mallee Eagles, it's hard to say when they're 21 points up, but they actually need the next goal just to settle here, the Eagles, because they are coming hard at the moment. Kerang in the middle of the ground. They're going to get the free kick. Long kick forward there from Hahn. Inside 50, Curnow, the target, just worried off it by McGregor, was good. Lavey was good as well, but now he's got problems. Has to get rid of the ball. Does so. Eventually, only as far as Coates. Little handball, tried to get it to Curnow. Hands and knees, couldn't pick it up. Eventually squirts out the back. Runciman hanging over it. Umpire says, give it to me. We'll have a ball up deep into attack for the Blues.
And finally, the Blues get a chance to set up in their defensive zone across the centre of the ground. Ruckman go at it. Gillingham off the pack, has a shot, doesn't carry, comes over the back of the pack. The Blues ducking, weaving, minor score. Oh, a rush behind. It's rushed all right. 7-2-44 Kerang. 20 points behind the Eagles, who are 10-4-64. The Blues now doing all the attacking.
So Tassari now brings it in. Clever little kick, just chips it over the top to Omar Taleb.
Been
who's
good.
Wanting options. He goes short to McGregor. Now he can turn and go short over the top to Foster. Decides not to do that as Clark shuts that option down. So McGregor now. He will have to go long, looking for Harry Allen, caught behind Marty Kelly. Off hands, Allen with a little handball, now trying to pick it up there for Kerang was Radcliffe, but beating him to it was Williamson. Umpire says, give it to me. In fact, yes, he does. Williamson was trying to get away with the ball, but he says, no, I want it, and we'll have a ball up.
If the Eagles can get this on the boot quickly, there's plenty of open space down toward half forward where McDonald is lurking. He's got only one opponent down there. Now Jesse Clark's going to try and fill the void as he moves back, but there's too much open space down there. McDonald had a long run at it if he was able to get a kick in his area. Now comes out the back. Well, Clark, there's the play we were calling on, and the umpire says a free kick. It's going the way of Jesse Clark for a hold. Both players wrestling for it, but it goes the way of Clark, who goes short with his kick. A shocker. Harry Allen chips in. Great effort. Good anticipation by Harry Allen and gets it over the top to McDonald, who just loses his opponent, gets back off it. Great forward craft here by McDonald.
He needs to go back and kick this.
He does, but I like the way he went about it. Didn't try and go toward the footy, got back, created the space, and Harry Allen, terrific.
Just lost their intensity around the footy at the moment, the Eagles, and full credit to the Blues.
McDonald, just pulled the kick, bent the knee. It's going to carry the pack. A minor score goes on the board. The Eagles 10-5-65, Kerang 7-2-44, and that's on the Battery Tech scoreboard as we are getting well into this third quarter, 15-minute mark.
So Payne out. He goes wide out towards Clark. So he's got wide open space to work with as the coach for the Blues. Wasn't a great kick. Harry Allen's going to get back there. Just worked off the ball. Tried to get it to Lavey. Just beating him to it, though, was Josh Nitsky. Going to ground there was Toby Sheehan. Did he get the handball away? No. Umpire says, doesn't matter. Give it to me. We'll have a ball up over in front of the Kerang interchange bench with the Blues trailing the Mallee Eagles by 21 points. 15 minutes gone in the third term.
The Blues have gone short up front now. They've gone Hayes and Coates down there deep. So if the kick comes in, it'll want to be in the right areas. The ball comes across. Pay with the footy. Here's a free kick down the ground. No, the umpire put the whistle up, but Pay held his ground. If he'd gone to ground, I think he might have paid it. The Eagles have been able to chip in and take a steadying mark between fullback and halfback.
Yeah, so Batten now goes wide, looking for Lavey, and umpire's found a free kick. It's going to go to Kerang.
And with the footy, Shuey.
Yep, and...
So, hand now, short, has heavy side on, went over his head, beats Runciman as well. Now the Mallee Eagles work, trying to get their hands on it. It's hard to do it in the glue pot. Now that was a throw, just a blatant throw, and the umpire missed it. Slipping over in the middle of the ground. Just get off the cricket wicket, boys. Bo Bennett, little handball away to McGregor, and eventually the umpire is going to bring it back. He said it's push in the back, and it will go to the Mallee Eagles, and it will be Bo Bennett.
Pretty lucky in there, I think.
We've got to find him first. We've got to dig him out. He comes across and finds his teammate in Brent Sheehan on the outer side half-back flank. Bit of the old AFL days when they watered the grounds. The kick down the ground. Harry Allen has the ball punched away, and a great effort there throwing himself in was Sean Hunter to make sure that the dangerous Harry Allen not able to get the footy. Over the line and out of bounds.
So right in front of the commentary box at the moment, and it is the Mallee Eagles by 21 points. Here, late stages in this third term. So going in hard and low, there was Taleb sitting over the ball. What's the umpire say? He crosses himself, says give it to me, and we'll have a ball up centre wing.
Still no updates for the half-time for Central Murray. The leaders at half-time were Kahuna Kangas, Nyanai West United and Swan Hill. For the McDonald's in Swan Hill, just straining to get around the corner here. Now the umpire's called a free kick, going the way of the Mallee Eagles, getting up underneath the pack. Just starting to get a little bit of tempo dropping out of the game here, Glenn Stewart. Compliments of Mawson's.
Yeah, just the last 5 minutes, the Eagles have just slowed the whole game down at the moment and just stopping the Kerang Blues run.
Good coaching, good football. The ball comes down the ground. Players from both sides converge. There would be 15 players around this ball at the moment and one umpire. And the umpire through weight of whistle, not numbers, wins out. The umpire says, give it to me, boys. I'm going to throw the ball up right in front of Marcus Di Maria, who is busily taking notes for those next couple of weeks that the Warreneen side are going to play. Hold. It's going to go the way of the Blues. He's got to come back behind the mark, Sam Heavyside. Ever thinking, wanted to get the advantage, and now we'll play on.
So Heavyside now goes short to Harry, takes the mark, little handball over the top. This is good. Hahn crosses the 50, long bomb all the way to the goal square. Who's sitting underneath it? Oh, getting back was Tassari. Really good work from him. He has been excellent today in defence for the Eagles. And it is through for one behind. 7-3-45 Kerang. They trail the Mallee Eagles 10-5-65. 18.5 minutes gone, third term, thanks to Battery Tech.
Definitely a contender for the Cadenas Mechanical and a 4x4 best on. Player held, not in possession. I thought the ball was in under him, but he didn't have enough of it, according to the umpire. And it's play on Bo Bennett on the outer side. Kicks down the centre wing area on the outer side. 2 against 1 on the outer side. It's an out of bounds on the full job. And getting the football back is Marty Kelly. Now Marty with the footy. No, it's got to go back to Jesse Clark. And now he handballs it over to Marty Kelly. And Kelly, oh no, we're back to how we were. That's up and under, and it's gone nowhere so far as an advantage to the home side. That's Kerang concerned. The ball close to the boundary line. Coates just settles in front of the pack, tries to hold the pack off the footy while he drags it in with one hand. Not successful in the end so far as moving forward. It's gone over the line, has it? No, ball up. The boundary umpire not called on this occasion. The central umpire will toss the ball up, and it is 10-5-65. The Eagles Kerang 7-3-45 on the Battery Tech scoreboard.
Throw a blanket over about 20 players at the moment. Hahn went to ground. Umpire said he was taken high, and it will be a free kick to Josh Hahn. So probably too far out to score. He's about 60 from home. Just sets it up long to the top of the goal square. Kerno the fly. McGregor back with courage was good. That was Darcy. Fell to his brother in Tom, who just scrubbers the ball out wide, looking for the boundary line. Picking it up now was Hunter. Little handball back into Runsman. Runsman on the left. High ball centering, looking for Hayes. Big pack forms. Sitting down and waiting was Jacob Wade, and he gives the little handball over to Levy.
Levy with the footy, just terrific, well-sorted football there from Jacob Wade. Saw the big pack in front of him, didn't need to be part of it, waited down, did the right thing, and was able to go the spread, and the spread sees the ball over the line and out of bounds. Really telling 5 minutes here for the Blues, in fact for both sides, but if the Blues can get one back here, they're within a couple of goals on the turn at three-quarter time. The ruckman set themselves, go at it, the ball in under. Nobody can pick it up. It's just bouncing off feet all over the place. The umpire surely will ball it up. Calls for it and will do exactly that. Now, big pay for the Blues. He wants a big thump here. Get it clear. Give some room for his runners to get onto it. Tries to palm. Does that. Gets it down quickly to a teammate. Now the Blues are out. It's an up and under. Who's in front? Oh, Pay was in front. In fact, it was Hayes who was in front. Not able to get his hands on the footy cleanly enough for the umpire. The umpire says, give it to me. The Blues wanted holding the ball. The Eagles wanted a ball up. The Eagles win out.
So it turned into a really scrappy affair this last 5 minutes, which is probably suiting the Mallee Eagles. They'll want to try and maintain this lead if they can. Holding the ball, said the umpire. It'll be going to the Mallee Eagles, and in fact it will be Harry Allen with the free kick inside his defensive 50, but they're just looking to get to this final break with the lead intact at the moment. He goes wide to Wade. Wade goes back to Allen, as they just share the footy between themselves.
If you haven't got red hair, you're not getting a possession here at the moment, Glenn Stewart.
Yeah, good call, Noel.
Goes across. Harry Allen with the footy, goes down the ground, long down the ground. Big leap! Jesse Clark, if you don't mind, didn't take the 40, but I tell you what, the idea was there. The application just not quite. Littlest man on the ground nearly took the mark of the day. The ball in front of the canteen. Gee, they've done a marvellous trade over there. Big crowd in attendance here today. And they have not been disappointed. It's a hell of a game of footy from two very talented Aussie rules footy sides.
Big crowd, but still under the 1,000.
998, Shane.
In case there's anybody listening.
The Mallee Eagles supporters there feel as though they've been done by the umpiring.
What?
Yes, so I'm pretty happy to get that free kick at the moment. I think the count would be favouring the Kerang Blues at the moment, but that's because they're getting in and getting the football.
They are. They've certainly been first to the footy in this third term as Zach Saar goes long down the line. Big fly from behind from Dalrymple. And there is your Swan Hill Higher mark of the day right there, just to make your job easy. And Dalrymple takes the mark at half-back for the Blues.
I had Sean Hunter, I had Omar Tell him now, I've got Dalrymple. They are flying everywhere today, and the ball desperate for the ball to come to the Blues. They've got the player short. They use it. Now can they go wide? They've got plenty of options. Kick the ball in front. Did so. The Blues are on the charge. Look at a handball wide here, coming out wide to Dunham. Dunham gets the ball over to Gillingham. Gillingham, oh, he should chew it up and spit it out from here in the pass. He goes long, looking for his Hayes. Hayes gets in front. The ball comes to ground. Where are the runners underneath for the Blues? There's none. The ball comes back. Now Gillingham's going to have to fly. He'll have to go high. Get the big punch away. Gets the ball back. Down. Underneath it there is Curnow. Curnow doing the roving on this occasion. The ball comes out the back, and the Eagles have numbers, just not able to pierce this defensive zone for the Blues.
They're able to spot up Brent Sheehan now, though, at half-back. So Sheehan goes short and wide out towards the boundary to Darcy McGregor. So they're just going into possession-saving mode here, do the Eagles. McGregor down the line. Front position was Pynchon. Good mark from him. So they can build here. They've got numbers in the middle if he wants to go that way. He's not really looking. Eventually he's called to play on. Has to now. Spots up the loose player in O'Mara in the centre of the ground.
O'Mara through the middle and fair dinkum. He is right through the middle. Not bad footing there, but once he gets wider there, it's a little bit mushy underneath. The ball paddled wide. The Blues deep into this third quarter. Time is against them. If they can get it out wide, they've got a chance. They do exactly that. Comes over. Pay gives a handball over to Heavyside, who tripped. Comes back over to Heavyside. Handball over the top to Hayden Hall. He's got plenty of heat on him. The ball comes back in, and the Eagles are able to clear it with a kick. Yes, they come towards centre wing, but Jesse Clark's about to swoop. He's got leg speed to burn. Jesse Clark looks over the left shoulder, kicks with the right. Players up and down on the one spot here a little bit. Gillingham's in the middle. If he can use him, he does. That's Hayden Hall. And the pass from Gillingham goes straight down the throat of Curnow.
So Curnow now too far out to score. Centering ball had the loose player on the other side of the ground, and he spots him up. And that is Adam Hunter, I think. And he will go back and line up from 35 metres out on a slide angle.
They won't care how long he takes either here, Stewie.
Poor defensive work there by the Mallee Eagles. So look, they're just looking a little bit tired too. Obviously the run, and the Blues have got to do the running because they're behind by 20-odd points. But we see Hunter coming in now and directly behind this guys, and he should put this one through. Don't want to put the Moz on him. Kicks it and right through the centre of the goals, and that's their 8th goal.
It is, and their 3rd in a row for the Blues as well. They go to 8-3-51. They've brought that margin back to 14 points, 10-5-65, thanks to Battery Tech, all batteries for everything scoreboard.
Around the grounds, compliments of Maccas, and it's full time up at Metricom. Port Adelaide, 12 goals, 9, have defeated the Gold Coast, 4 goals, 7. So a big win there. And a couple of three-quarter time scores coming through North Central Footy League. It is Donald, who are 6-13, leading St Arnaud 1 goal, 7. Three-quarter time also the Bulls, Birchip Watcham 9-5, lead Charlton 3 goals, 4. And a couple of three-quarter times in the Golden Rivers still have time, and that is Wandella over Murrabit by 20, and Quamby have got away. They're 81, leading Ultima 43.
So back in the middle, and Marty Kelly with the clearance just hacks the ball forward, but taking the mark in front. There was Hunter, gives the handball off to Hall, running past Curnow on the lead. Takes the mark in the hands. Out in front of the eyes, 35 metres out from goal. And he will go back and line up with Bryce Curnow. And believe it or not, Curnow, he's only looking for his 2nd goal of the day so far this afternoon.
It's a right to left with the breeze.
So Curnow, kick on its way, split the middle. It's back to 8 points. 9-3-57 the Blues. The Mallee Eagles 10-5-65, late stages of this 3rd term, thanks to Battery Tech.
3 or 4 in a row now for the Blues, Shane. You keep a tally. 4 in a row. What do the Eagles do here, Glenn Stewart? They need to regroup.
Oh, yeah, they certainly do. They've just got to get it out of the centre of the ground. That's where they've been completely beaten so far this quarter. A player we spoke about it.
Stewie just struggling there with the reception for us, but certainly Marty Kelly, I think it may be the player he was alluding to, has started to get plenty of the footy. And I tell you what, Josh Hand has got the job on Harry Allen. I'm not saying he's shut him down, but he's certainly curtailed some of the movement out of the centre of the ground. For the centre, the umpire's going to call for a secondary. Gillingham sitting wide now on this occasion. He might have worked out that Darcy McGregor was getting plenty of footy, so Gillingham is going to sit wider and try and curtail his influence. Oh, players diving in hard. The umpire says, well, I've had to. I might as well have 3, or maybe I need the practice. But I tell you what, pressure here on the goal scorers, Shane.
They're searching for that three-quarter time bell.
Got a little bit of a punch on in the forward pocket, boys. Got a little bit of a punch on.
Which one?
Down the Albert end.
Right.
Well, it doesn't matter at the moment because it is the Kerang with the free kick, but there is the siren. And
here it is. It's going to be on now.
And, you're right, Stewie.
Yeah, I think, don't know what was going on there, but Zaxard was not happy.
Yeah, there's a little bit happening, that's for sure, down that end of the ground. And I think all the attention from everyone up the ground is just focused that way. And to be honest, they're not that interested in running down there. I think they're all a bit tired, Stu, but it is the three-quarter time break. And
there we go.
Wow.
It's on there. That was a whack.
Now the central umpire, the goal umpire, I think, is going to be saying that somebody's out. Oh, that was a big hit and totally unnecessary.
Well, there is a card. The umpire's pulled a card out.
Michael Dalrymple wore one. And absolutely no doubt that somebody should be getting sent off. It can't be Dalrymple. He was on the receiving end.
There's 2 cards. In fact, Dalrymple has been carded as well just then, Noel, but I think he's pulled out the card twice. They have.
Sure, he was on the receiving end. I tell you what. There's plenty to play for here.
There absolutely is, and they're just starting to make their way over to the respective benches now. But Stewie, unfortunately, you're not going to have a break at three-quarter time because you've got some work to do to find out what just happened there because it is an 8-point margin, all happening here at the Riverside Park in Kerang. 6-2 in that term from the Blues sees them back to 8 points. 9-3-57 to 10-5-65. This is 3SH Central Murray Live.
For Holt's Mitsubishi, Hyundai and Isuzu Ute, Harvey Norman Swan Hill and Walker's IGA Kerang. 3SH Central Murray Live. Neil Mitchell.
Why us? Federal Treasurer Josh Frydenberg.
Weekday mornings from 8:30.
6 million Victorians saying, why us? The most powerful statistic, Victorians have been subject to 140 days of lockdown, whereas the average across the other 5 states and 2 territories is just 6 days. 140 days versus 6 days. Now, you can't blame the Indian variant for that.
Neil Mitchell, weekday mornings from 8:30 on 1332 3SH.
Whether you're shivering in the winter chill or sweltering in the heat and humidity, there's only one thing you need to remember. When the temperature hits you, just get a Fujitsu. And right now, when you buy a Fujitsu air conditioner, you'll receive a digital prepaid MasterCard worth up to $450. Buying new or upgrading, just get a Fujitsu. It's Australia's favourite air.
Purchase eligible model by 31st August 21. Claim by 29.
3SH Central Murray Live. For Holt's Mitsubishi, Hyundai and Isuzu Ute, Harvey Norman Swan Hill and Walker's IGA Kerang.
9-3-57 Kerang. They trail the Mallee-Eagles 10-5-65, but they have kicked 6 goals in that third quarter, did the Blues, to come steaming back into this game. And I tell you what, we have got a final quarter on our hands this afternoon. But down to Glen Stewart, thanks to Mawson's Concrete. As you would have heard, there was a bit going on just before the three-quarter time siren, Stewie, and we've got some news out of that.
Yeah, thanks very much, Shane. Yes, Zaxard's been reported, I do believe, for striking Michael Dalrymple, but both of those players have been yellow carded or sent off for the customary 15 minutes.
So both players down to 17 men, so really has no bearing at all in the end that they've both been sent off because they're both off, but we're almost getting ready here for this final quarter, which will be brought to you by Sid Wilson Auto Electrics, Noel, but I think we are in for a real grandstand finish at the moment, the way Kerang finished that term off.
Oh, mate, this is fantastic, and I tell you what, there's not many people actually sitting in their cars anymore. You know, you go to the footy and they all sit in their car. Not anymore. They're out and they're involved. The ruckmen go at it, getting up high as Doolan for the Eagles. The ball's gone straight in underneath, and the ball will be going back to that central umpire. We'll give you some around the grounds when we get a chance. Compliments of Maccas in Swan Hill. All the three-quarter time scores are still coming through. From the ruckward, comes out the way of the Blues. Gillingham goes right, goes left, goes with the right boot across, finds a teammate on the outer side. Already his opponent goes to ground, so the Blues are off through Sean Hunter. He's kicked a couple of goals. This occasion he's gone deep with the footy down. A mark taken down there. There's Brandon Hayes, and Hayes has got the mark, and he kicks into the forward line for the Blues with the sun in our eyes, but it's going to be the Eagles. No, it's not. It's Brad Pay. Brad Pay has picked it up. Brad Pay from centre half forward has sport. The Blues are alive. The team are back. 10 goals, 3. They trail the Eagles. It is 10 goals, 5. And Brad Pay from absolutely nowhere has kicked the goal of the game thus far. Terrific effort, Glenn Stewart. Compliments of Mawson's Concrete.
Yeah, it was sensational effort there by Brad. Beautiful snap and goal. He was under enormous pressure and was able to kick it right through the centre of the goals.
Here's one for your useless stats, guys. There's been a goal kicked within the first minute every quarter from that end of the game.
That's right.
Thank you very much, Shane. Bring some sanity back to it.
One for the useless stats, that one. So back in the middle, and it is a 2-point ball game in favour of the Eagles. And they're going to get the free kick here. Harry Allen will be the recipient. As in the middle of the ground, looking for targets. Goes long and over the head there of Marty Kelly. At the back was McDonald. Has to try to get the handball away. Umpire said, no, you didn't. Holding the ball. And it will be a free kick to the Blues and advantage paid and through Jesse Clark.
Jesse Clark, some sort of an advantage. The Blues are able to go forward through Kelly. Kelly unloads toward the shaded area, which is over where the big pavilion is, coming in underneath the pack. There is Hayden Hall for the Blues. Not able to find it. It's the Eagles who are going to go forward. Second attempt at the mark, not being taken. Heavy side in there for the Blues. He's been good today. He would be a contender, I would think, for that Cadenas Mechanical and 4x4. And I tell you what, Harry Allen's not going to stop running in this last quarter. Sassari's been good. Taleb was been good. It's a terrific game of footy, and at the moment it's a 2-point lead to the Eagles.
38 points they led by their early stages of this third term, did the Mallee Eagles. At the moment it is back to 2 points. The Eagles going forward again through Toby Sheen. High up and under kick, sitting underneath it was Taleb, who takes a good mark on the chest. He had Daglish holding all over him, but was able to just protect that drop zone and take the mark, did Taleb. And he was very, very good in that first quarter, Noel.
Yes.
And has been a little bit quiet since, but now gets his opportunity to come back into the game.
Well, he's kicked 2, and this could be a very, very important third.
Well, right behind this, boys, as he comes in from about 30 metres out on a 45-degree angle, and let's see if he just floats it out to the right and then comes back in. Floats it completely through the left, and it's gone through the middle of the points.
Minor score to the Mallee Eagles. 10-6-66, Kerang 10-3-63, and that's on the Sid Wilson Auto Electrics scoreboard as the Blues come out of defence, and the quick kick across the ground here by Gillingham, dangerous. Is it going to be risk and reward because Radcliffe's got the footy, he's got a teammate down the ground. Oh, the bouncer shocker. Wade comes in beautifully for the Eagles, doesn't usually waste the footy, and on this occasion looks down the ground, finds a teammate who's able to square up. The numbers favour the Eagles, not able to get on the end of it. Coming through is Kelly. Oh, you're gone for all money, son. Too late. The Blues are off and running, and the player coming through the middle there is Coates.
He spots up Brad Pay, middle of the ground. He goes inside 50, long kick looking for Hayes. With him there was McGregor, doing well. Kerno comes in for support now. Little tap back to Brad Pay from too far out to score. Lowers, centres, and Caleb Nitschke going back with the flight. He has taken the mark 20 metres out from home, and he will go back and line up almost directly in front to give the Blues the lead for the first time this afternoon.
Can I take you back? Bryce Kerno, terrific call there, Bar. The view, he just paddled it wide. Didn't panic.
And Brad Pay as well. That last kick inside 50, he could have blazed away. He knew that he had the loose players only 20 metres out from goal. One of them was Caleb Nitschke, who's taken the mark, and he will go back now. A huge kick in this game, and he has put it straight through, and he has given Kerang the lead for the first time this afternoon. 4 minutes into this final term, they go to 11-3-69. The Mallee Eagles 10-6-66, and that is on the Sid Wilson Auto Electric scoreboard, Stewie.
Yeah, no, fantastic effort there by the Kerang side, and he went back. The goal umpire, ran across a fair way, but he was able to sneak it through, and they're playing really good football at the moment, the way Coates was able to centre that football.
Tell you what, he kicked it from the right spot too. In front of the can bar, and they went ballistic when he kicked it. They've hit the front, the Blues, from the ruck work. Is it going to be the Blues again? Oh, it is. Oh, Coates got one high. He's kicked by the left foot. Now, what will they call? They call advantage. They do, because the mark has been taken by Bryce Kerno. Now, what's the umpire going to do? He's going to pay the mark down. Yes, Bryce Kerno. Well, this is bread and butter, surely, for Bryce Kerno. I don't want to moz him, but he's kicked a couple. But both Shane and Glenn comment on this. This should be bread and butter. Stewie.
Certainly is, Noel. You would suspect. But anyway, we'll wait and see.
Curnow
through.
kicks from a long way out. The goal umpire gets across. Curnow goes back toward the centre of the ground. Minor score it was.
It's margarine, mate.
Minor score. 70 plays 66, a 4-point lead to the Blues.
Oh, they've got the let off there, have the Eagles. They need to take advantage now because they should be down by 9 points, but they're only trailing by 4 with that missed shot at goal from Curnow. Pack at the back trying to get it over the back. They couldn't do so. Eventually comes out, just slung out of it there was Patrick Batten. Now comes out, comes to Bennett. Little chip forward was good. Foster's loose. Oh, the ball just didn't quite bounce through him. All of a sudden, it's bouncing Kerang's way. Coming through, O'Mara. Long shot at goal from Zach O'Mara. Oh, he's just nicked the post. Hit the top of the goal post. And they go to 10-7-67, the Mallee Eagles. Kerang 11-4-70 on the Sid Wilson Auto Electric scoreboard. This game's got absolutely everything.
I'd love to give some around-the-ground compliments of Maccas, but we just can't fit it in at the moment. Such is the intensity of this game.
He's on again here,
The
boys.
ball is on the ground. Player, disrobed to some degree. Had his jumper torn off. The umpire comes in to settle things down. He's still on the ground. Now the Eagles are in under it. What's the decision? We're trying to wait. There's a free kick going the way of Jesse Clark, who kicks down the ground. While there's a bit of mayhem, the Blues have got out. Gillingham's got the foot. He's got a lot of room in front of him. Goes down the centre of the ground, uses the best route, the quickest one, and gives it to Hayden Hall.
So Hall now, little chip forward. Finds a teammate there in Caleb Nitschke. He gives a little handball wide. Out to Coates. Short passes on to Curnow, who takes the mark deep in the pocket. Over in front of the can bar. Curnow, he is. And, well, why not? When you've got a leg like him, Stewie, you might as well have a go at it.
Exactly right behind this, boys.
This is going to be tricky, though, Stewie, with that breeze.
Yeah, a little bit tricky. The breeze has dived down a little bit, but anyway, he's going to come in. Yep. He's coming in from around about, shooting from about 30 on about a 45-degree angle, 50-degree angle. And in he comes. He just hesitates a fraction, kicks through the football now. The ball starts out to the left. Will it come back? No, it's into the goal square, and it's going to be rushed through.
So another behind. They go to 11-5-71 Kerang. The Mallee Eagles 10-7-67 on the Sid Wilson Auto Electric scoreboard. We might quickly go around the grounds thanks to Macca's Swan Hill.
Absolutely. We'll go Central Murray whilst we have the opportunity. Three-quarter time scores. Kahuna 17-9-111. Balranald 10-9-69. United 12-4-76. Lake Boga 4-8-32. 7-goal term to the Demons. And Swan Hill 9-12-66. Tulibuck Maneng 4-1-25. But we've moved far, Shane.
We haven't. We're still inside defensive 50, although eventually they've managed to kick it out towards Clinton Cummings. Ooh. And the ball has gone over the boundary line and over for a throw in 70 metres around from goal for the Blues.
Golden Rivers, compliments of Maccas, Hay down. There's 7 goals, 8-50. Nullawal 13-7-85. Moolameen 15-9. Lead McCorner 9-5. Murrabit 6-2. Trail Wandella 9-4-58. And Quamby getting away from Ultima 12-9. Plays 6 goals, 7.
So from the throw in, Harry Allen with the clearance. Kicks long towards McDonald. Couldn't take the mark. Marty Kelly now just didn't quite get a handle on it. In the end, it comes to Bo Bennett. Little handball over the top. Just didn't quite sit there for Ethan Pynchon. And Josh Nitschke will look to clear for the Blues.
Does exactly that. Gillingham starting to get a bit of the footy here now as the pace has gone off it a little bit. Comes back inside to heavy side. His handball just smothered. Now there's a whistle. It's a whistle down the ground. There's a free kick going the way of the Eagles. Harry Allen doesn't waste any time. Comes inboard. Understands what's required. Gives it to Darcy McGregor, who comes wide. Very wide. Looks for Jake Foster. Kicked a couple of goals already. Wants someone to lead to him. Finally, someone does. And it's a Kerang player. It's going to go out the back of the pack. And Angelo Robignano has the footy. No, he doesn't, because it's bounced back under him. The umpire's circling. Oh, is he going to call it? No, he doesn't. Oh, I thought he dragged it back in underneath there. But not going to go against Jack Dalglish.
Poor option there from Romanano. He was out and decided to go back into traffic with the ball. Deep in attack for the Mallee Eagles. They trail at the moment by 4 points. And it's now 3 as it's rushed through for a behind by Samuel Radcliffe. They go to 10-8-68, the Eagles. 11-5-71, Kerang. And that is on the Sid Wilson Auto Electric scoreboard here on 3SH Central Murray Live.
Brad Pay had 2 options. Either side back pocket. decided to go to the clubhouse side. Has Gillingham loose in behind the umpire. Can't spot him. The umpire's in the road. Goes down the outer side to the big leaping player, but it was an Eagles player. The ball is close to the line. Has it gone over? No, it stays in. Coming through is Marty Kelly. Goes to don't argue, which means if you get tackled, you're gone. And he did get tackled. Oh, high.
Got him high.
It's going back, so it's going the Eagles' way because
it's going the Eagles' way. It was a high tackle behind play.
Correct, exactly right. It was going against Curnow, and the free kick is going the way of the Eagles. And this is a crucial inside 50 for the Mallee Eagles.
It's a long, high up and under kick. Poor in the end. Brad Pay had plenty of time sitting underneath it. Oh, Pay, that's uncharacteristic from him. He missed the target. Going to ground there with big tackle by Gillingham. And we'll get a ball up 50 metres from home. Darcy McGregor it was with the hard ball win there for the Eagles.
Isn't pressure an amazing thing? There's a kick from an experienced player, not even hitting the target. From the ruck work, it comes out the back of Pay, who's thrown out of the pack without the footy. Coming in underneath the Eagles. They've got numbers on the outside of the play. Can they find the footy? No, it's gone over the line or very close to. And in fact, the umpire is going to call it deliberate.
I thought it was. Yep.
Okay. Surely that's a huge call.
You'll see 20 of them in a game, you will, and they decide to pull one out now.
From the boundary line, Shane, you can tell our listeners what's going on because the Eagles have a chance to, certainly press for a score.
Well, they do. They trail by 3 points at the moment, and the kick now on its way. Coming back. Has he snuck it through? He hasn't. That was from Foster. And it's through for another behind. They trail by 2 points now. 10-9-69 the Mallee Eagles. Kerang 11-5-71. And that is on the Sid Wilson Auto Electric scoreboard. Around the grounds thanks to Macca's Swan Hill.
North Central Footy League, Birchip Watcham at George Cartwright Oval. 9-5-59. Charlton 3-4-22. Wedderburn big leaders over the Magpies 73-30. Donald 6-13. Sonata 1-7. And Sea Lake Nandali Tigers, these are all three-quarter time scores, 16-11. The Demons 4-1.
Ball brought back into play, but Tommy McGregor marking from the kick out. His kick back inside 50 was off hands. Pack forms. And we will get a ball up about 15 metres around from goal, deep in the pocket here with the Eagles into attack.
13-minute mark, final quarter. I should premise that by saying tense final quarter. Ruckman, go at it. Neither side able to get it clearly over the line and out of bounds. Boundary umpire says to the central, I'll throw it in, you get over there and officiate. Ruckman, you do your thing. Tired players. I notice Curnow back again for the Blues. Surely not enough lead at this stage of the game. The ruck work going to ground. Umpire circling says, I'll ping it out and come to me. Gillingham's loose if he wants to use him. But Jesse Clark also sitting back deep for the Blues.
So taking out of the ruck there was McDonald. Eventually got the handball away. No one able to take clean possession. Pynchon goes back into traffic, has to get rid of it. He does, or did, said the umpire. Now Hahn gets it off to Curnow. He's looking for a teammate, eventually feeds it off to Hall. He goes wide to Pay, and Pay will go long towards the Social Club wing.
Went for distance and got some because it's close to the outer side boundary line. Now the Blues say, was that deliberate? He said the same as the other end. This umpire just shakes his head and says, no, we'll just throw it in, thanks. The crowd out there really getting into it. Glenn Stewart, compliments of Mawsons.
You certainly are, Noel. You're spot on.
The boundary umpire throws the ball high. The ruckman go at it. In fact, it was Curnow. Pay applies the tackle to his opponent. The ball comes out the back. Oh, big tackle. There's a throw called for. Oh, that's a big call. Glenn Stewart, you're there.
Not happy, the Mallee Eagles supporters.
The free kick is going to go the way of the Blues. It looks like Sam Heavyside who's going to get up to take the resultant free kick. The ball goes back in his general direction. Now he's got it. I would think goes for distance here. Don't try and be cute. Go long. Let's see how he goes.
So that's exactly what he does, Noel. It's almost like he's got the earpiece in listening to us this afternoon as he kicks down towards half forward. But Aidan Tassari works the ball over for a boundary throw, and he is certainly one of the Cadenas Mechanical and 4x4 player of the day.
Zach Sard back on. Zach Sard back on.
Well, they should both be back on, shouldn't they?
And Dalrymple's gone back on.
Yep. Okay, let's see if they can have an influence. The ball comes out the back. Neither side can get any clear run at it. The umpire crosses himself and says, hand it over. Now, let's see back in the middle of the ground. Jesse Clark's dropped himself into the middle if they need him. That's the Blues. He's also there as a defensive marker should an errant kick come out from the Eagles. Nobody's going anywhere. Oh, he's called one high. over the shoulder. It's going the way of the Eagles. The quick hands comes away of the Eagles. They go up and under towards the centre wing. Now Clark is going to be in front of this pack. The ball carries the pack out the back. The ball comes a quick kick for the Blues towards centre half forward, but nobody home. And defensively, the Eagles stand up through the agency of Levy.
So now kick out towards the Social Club. Bennett, that was Wes. He's kicked down the line. A good strong mark taken there for Kerang, and that is Pay, Scott Pay. So
everybody there is saying, kick it along, kick it along.
Well, he goes towards Dalrymple, just back on the ground. Oh, he's run down from behind, just got his kick away in time, though. Marty Kelly runs around Taleb. Now Kelly, centering ball, loose player in the middle of the ground. Sean Hunter takes the mark, 40 metres from goal, directly in front. And he will go back and line up for Kerang's 12th.
You can't beat experience, and Marty Kelly, you just summed it up, Shane.
He did, yeah. Beautiful vision from Kelly too. They had the loose player in the middle of the ground. Jesse Clark was also loose. And in the end, it's Sean Hunter. So the youngster now, who's got 2 already this afternoon, looking for his 3rd. Kick on its way. That won't be a goal. It's off hands through for a rush behind. And again, Kerang now push it back out to a 3-point margin. 11-6-72 to the Eagles. 10-9, 69. 16.5 gone final term, thanks to Sid Wilson Auto Electrics.
Bryce Curnow caught one in the mush there. He went up high and hit the point post, and it just ricocheted back. He's all right. He's up and going. The Eagles want to cross. They want to come across to this side, the outer side, which is where the better footing is. And why wouldn't they? Because they've got plenty of options available to them. The ball across half back. Here they build. They want the handball. There's nobody now down the ground. Oh, dropping the footy. Play on is the call. The umpire's going to have plenty to say here in a minute. Gillingham swoops. His opponent has got rid of the footy. Heat are personified here. The ball comes back in toward the centre of the ground. It's a hold call. If you can get the footy, you can. It's a kick out of the back of the pack. And the Eagles are in the best position here to clean up and mop up. But it's the Blues are getting in under now. Gee, I tell you what, there's some tired boys there. The umpire's going to call for another ball up. Pressure situation here. Both sides out on their feet. It's a couple of points the difference. In fact, 3 points on the Sid Wilson Auto Electric scoreboard.
Kernow off.
Kernow's come up. All right, thanks, Stewie. Coates with the clearance. A couple of poor decisions there in that passage as a play from the Mallee Eagles. They were out a couple of times and went back into traffic. That should be a free kick to Jesse Clark. It will be. Going against the Eagles player there, and might be Pinchon, I think that was. As comes now to Romanano, who goes long, going back with courage with Sard, couldn't quite take the mark. Spoil was on there from Harry. Sard goes back in and gets a little handball back into traffic to Brent Sheehan. He goes across to Wade. They're out here if they can find a target, the Eagles. Wade down the line, not a great kick. And Jesse Clark comes in to take the mark, centre wing.
Jesse Clark has got options short. One of them is his old mate in Gillingham. Gillingham looks down the ground. He also has a teammate loose in heavy side. Heavy side to Kelly. They build. The chain of command goes down. Can Hayes get back? How did he get out the back of the pack on his own? Brandon Hayes. He doesn't care. His teammates don't care, and the big crowd here don't care because he's kicked a goal. 12 goals, 6 Kerang, 78. They lead the Eagles 10 goals, 9, 69. That's on the Sid Wilson Auto Electric scoreboard. And Mawson's Concrete, our man Glenn Stewart. Tell us all about it.
I know, Marty Kelly was sensational again, and we did talk about the fact that Marty Kelly had to lift his performance at halftime, and he's just done that. He's just been magnificent and was able to get the ball forward. And you're right, Brandon Hayes sitting out the back of the pack. I noticed McGregor, that's Tommy McGregor, was waiting here a long time on the interchange bench, and they just couldn't rotate him off. And they just lacked his experience down on the forward.
Can I just jump in with a quick experience point? Ryan Gillingham got beaten early in the third quarter by coming off his wing too hard. He has sat back now, and he's been instrumental in a couple of link-ups, just learning as they go along, the senior players as well.
So now, the Mallee Eagles, over to you. What have you got left in the tank? As it's going to be a clearance for the Blues through Troy Coates. We've said that many times over the years. Comes out now, Hunter overran the ball but went back in, had time to get it. Now Kerang again, just going back into traffic, and umpire says, give it to me. Thought he might have nearly paid holding the ball then. And we're going to get a ball up half forward for the Blues.
Just take the temperature of the respective benches, Stewie, and just see how their heart rate monitors are going, because I think it'd be pretty high from the ruck. We're going absolutely nowhere. Players from both sides in underneath there. Troy Coates again just coming up onto the ball now. I think just trying to have a little bit of a steadying influence. The ruckman go at it. Huge leap by Zach O'Mara. Sees the Eagles go towards the boundary line. Close to, in fact, now, and over the line, out of bounds.
It's mine.
It's yours, mate. Righto. Another possession. I'll mark that down. That becomes on number 1. Boundary umpire says I'll throw it in. Gillingham in the middle there, just as the back of the pack. The ruckman to go at it. That's Hunter and O'Mara.
Time the enemy now for the Eagles. We've just gone into time on here in this final term. It's only been 3 goals in this final quarter as well, so there won't be a lot of extra time. So they need to get their skates on. Ball trying to run through there was Talib, couldn't take it. Umpire says throw it in. Ball goes over the boundary line for a throw in, and this is all good news for Kerang, Noel.
Absolutely it is. I see Bryce Curnow looks like he's got a mask on, but I can tell you what he has got. He's got his nose heavily strapped at the moment.
Phantom of the Opera stuff, mate.
I don't know whether it's trying to hold it in place or not, but big effort by him if it is, because they really tingle. The ruckman go at it, goes straight down the arm, straight onto the ground. Everybody falls on it. And you guessed it, the umpire says hand it over to me. Pressure. Major pressure on the Eagles. Can they get it out the back? They can't, because getting in there quickly as Coates, as I mentioned, brought himself up into the contest. He's got it out wide to Gillingham. Gillingham, left, right, left, goes inside, gives the handball over, looking for but not finding Hayes. Now the ball's going to come out in his direction. Getting back again is Gillingham, and up and undersells Brad Payne to all sorts of pressure situation. The umpire says, no, give it to me.
No, it's going to be
He's going the other way. He's going it against him, yep. He certainly set the players alight anyway.
So Tommy McGregor now to Wade. Goes short to Allen. Showed a fair bit of the ball there to Lane Harry, but took the mark, did Allen. Now they need to move. They need to go quick. They haven't got time to sit around and wait and try to find the perfect option. Batten now goes down the line. Finds Mustafa centre wing here, right in front of the commentary position. Again, you've got to get the ball moving.
Critical move, critical kick, this one from Mustafa. He looks down the ground, getting back and using the body as Marty Kelly. Look at the hands, they're all waving down, down, steady. Jesse Kelly staying off the pack here, Kelly. Can they get it to him? They can. Now he can come down the line to Clark. No, goes across and finds Troy Coates. And Coates says, just move it around. Keep moving. I'll find you when you get there. He's got to play loose in the middle in Dalrymple if he wants him. Doesn't. Goes to Gillingham. Gillingham can go to Dalrymple. Sells the dummy, though. Gets around. Now watch the handball to pay back to Dalrymple now. Gets on the end of it. Give the hand, son. Or get the ball away. Their players, they're quick down the ground. They go to centre wing. And a chance for the Eagles. Crash and bash. They've got the ball in front of them on the outer side. They converge. That's the Eagles. The numbers favour them. But the ball goes to ground. The umpire says, give it to me, boys. We are deep into this game of footy. 23-minute mark last quarter.
So the Eagles now, as we've been saying for the last 5 minutes, time's the enemy. Clock is really ticking away. Now they lead back in the chase, getting back there first for the Eagles. Was Wade, eventually a little handball off now, gets it away to Allen, a long kick down the line, fly from behind by Tommy McGregor, just couldn't quite pull it down, and the ball goes over the boundary line and over for a throw-in.
Hurt himself too, Tommy McGregor.
Just on that really slippery part of the ground there, he's going to get up, which is great news.
Yep.
Right, the ruckmen are setting themselves here. Pay, that's big Scott Pay in front for the Blues. The ball comes out the back, big tackle applied. The umpire says, give it to me. And as Jane has mentioned there just a couple of minutes ago, tick, tick, ticking. The Blues are hanging on desperately. Who'd have thought it? At half-time, who'd have thought it halfway through the third? But the Blues have been strong. Coming back quickly, they get the handball inboard. They come across through Coates, and he sets his teammate up to be tackled, and that's exactly what's happened. But there's a free kick. Everybody's saying wait, and it's going to go the way of the Blues.
They will. They can come into the middle towards Gillingham. They do now. Oh, goes over his head. Wasn't a good kick in the end. Running through was Kelly, ignored by the handball there from Heavyside. Goes long towards Dalglish. He now lowers the eyes, sits it up for Heavyside, and he goes back and takes the mark 35 metres out from home, and he will go back to put the icing on a very nice cake for the Blues.
Stewie, I wouldn't want to be trying to pick the Cadenas Mechanical and 4x4 today, because there's some really good players from both sides, and this has been a terrific game of footy. Compliments of Mawson's.
Oh, it certainly has, Noel, you're right. There's probably 6 or 7 players, maybe even 8 players, 4 from either side probably, that could be a Cadenas Mechanical 4x4.
So Heavyside now kick on its way. It's coming back. It's through the middle.
and maybe that young fella there may have stitched it up.
I think that could nearly be a Cordina's Mechanical and 4x4 player of the day kick there, Stewie, because he has been sensational, especially after the main break, has Sam Heavyside. And they now go to 13.684, the Blues. That game is done. 10.969, the Mallee Eagles. And that is thanks to Sid Wilson Auto Electrics.
He's just developed a bit of gut running. I mean, it wasn't their early players. Well, I'll use the word lazy. You know what I mean, though? They were just kick and hope. And then he started to get the motor running, and he's brought other players into it. Certainly Gillingham is one of those. Marty Kelly's got going. Now, those sorts of players. Even Hayes has got a bit of a kick. Hunter as well. They've been able to develop players into the game. From the ruck work, again, Harry Allen. He is tireless. He just kicks the ball down. Hump go the Blues. Now they've got the numbers at the footy. Will it be leg speed wins out? Yes, it is. Surely don't go close to the boundary, umpire. The close handball goes inboard to Gillingham. Gillingham gets it over the top of the lane. Harry. Now Harry looks down the ground to absolutely no one, except Eagles defenders, and the ball comes back. McDonald's gone down there. The big tackle applied. Player shrugs it, comes down the line, and Harry Allen takes a mark right in front of us in the broadcast box. But it's going to be a little too late. 84 plays 69, and there's the siren. That's the Sid Wilson Auto Electric scoreboard.
They have kicked 10 of the last 11 goals, Kerang. They have kicked the last 8 goals of the game. They trailed by 38 points early stages in the third quarter, and they have come home with a wet sail to win by 15 in a remarkable game of footy. And with that win, Kerang, they go to the top of the ladder. Final scores 13.684 to 10.969. And Noel, we came here today expecting of a good game of footy, and boy, oh boy, did we get exactly that.
Oh, mate, this is just, I mean, we come back from an enforced break, if you like, and we cop a game like this. I mean, this is what it's all about. Yeah, we've got a big amount of people here to watch it. What we say, just under 1,000 here to watch it. And I tell you what, they would be here, that many. And they witness a game of footy, and that really is what it's absolutely all about. Terrific effort by the Eagles. Yeah, look, they just couldn't quite hang on, but I tell you what, they can hold their heads up here. They and their coach and everybody, they did their homework. They nearly pinched it. Oh, gee whiz, they were game. They were absolutely game. And as I said, go home with your heads held very, very high, Eagles supporters and your players. They were terrific.
Yeah, it's certainly a game. I know they didn't get the 4 points, Stewie, but it's a game that they can build on here for the Mallee Eagles. They've gotten really close. They've put in an excellent performance. Yes, they haven't got the win, but it's, as I said, a game where they can really relaunch their season from.
Yeah, I think the intensity of the second quarter, it actually, in fact, may have undone them a fraction, because they looked a little bit slow after half-time, after the long break, and they just didn't have the same intensity. But look, they were magnificent for the probably 3 quarters, the Mallee Eagles. They can take a lot out of this game. They've got a few players to come back into that side, but that gives Helmers something to work on now to get their season back on track. And obviously they played off in the 2019 grand final, and they'll be pretty keen to play off again. So look, great work by them, but fantastic work by the Kerang side. Just their ability to get back into the contest, and they were sensational as they worked together right across the back line, through the midfield and up forward to eventually get in front of the Mallee Eagles, and were victorious this afternoon.
Stewie, just watching Dean Helmers there, he went across and had a little chat with Marty Kelly, and you could see the old experienced heads, you know, they're just nodding away, and Helmers and Marty Kelly, of course, really understanding just what took place there today, because I thought that was absolutely fantastic, just the way they went about it. Both sides to be congratulated. It was a hard-fought, really solid game of footy, and so just great to see a couple of Warriors, the coach Dean Helmers and Marty Kelly there. I noticed the Blues are gathering, just listening. I'm not sure who's speaking to them, maybe the chairman of selectors or someone. Sure, you can probably pick up there. Just, I think, reiterating that a game is not done until it's done.
No, that's right, Noel. I'm just in the sheds, just looking out here at the moment, and Coates's having a bit of a chat there to the players as well.
And Jesse Clark in there as well. And it was interesting, I think, today, because we thought the Eagles might struggle, Shane, for goal kickers. We've ended up with about 5 or 6 separate goal kickers, which, again, stands them in good stead going forward.
It does, and we said at the start of the game, Noel, that they were probably going to have to kick 15 goals to win the Mallee Eagles, and where were they going to come from? Well, as it turned out, they would have had to kick 15 goals to win it. Yep. They've fallen just short. They've only got the 10, but they probably did find a couple of avenues to go. Duck McDonald was really good, especially in that first half. He really stood up in the absence of Rex Hickman, who of course is to come back in at some point. Zach Sard with 2, Taleb and Forster with 2, but just wasn't quite enough helpers down there to really, a couple of midfield goals and things like that you usually get. They just weren't there today.
Well, they had to use Duck a couple of ways, and I just like a big, strong forward who doesn't stand and say, kick it to me. They lead up. Right, so they can mark the ball in the air, they can mark the ball out in front, but it creates a lot of space behind them, and that's what McDonald was doing early on. And then, of course, Curnow, who wanted the role for Kerang, had to go back. Yep. So they sort of stole it from him, stole it from Kerang, that opportunity to do that. So really good coaching, and I thought really smart play by the forwards in the first half. They just ran out of legs, I think, in the end.
One thing that Marcus Di Maria said at halftime, which we were very thankful and grateful to have Marcus join us for his opinion on the game at the...
Has no understanding of the game, does he?
No,
really?
No, not at all. He read it very well, didn't he, when he said that they were probably overusing the handball a little bit. They had the handball to kick ratio just out of...
It's the song, I think.
Here's the song, boys. They tricked me. They did it on the ground.
Can't really hear it too much. But I tell you what, they've got the big crowd around them, and they are involving absolutely everybody in it, which is just sensational. To have a win like that is just terrific.
Top end.
Well, that's all right, Stewie. And, look, no, actually pretty good to see that, to be honest, out on the ground with all the crowd around them. You don't see that very often. In fact, you hardly ever see it these days. But that's the sort of win that Kerang will go, right, we're in this, and we're in this up to our neck, because we know that we can come back from anything now, and a very, very good performance from them. But we're going to take a break here. When we come back, we are going to have the wash-up with thanks to Jared Arendt's Electrical, and we might even speak with the player of the day thanks to Cordina's Mechanical and 4x4. You're listening to 3SH Central Murray Live.
For Holtz Mitsubishi Hyundai